We are live at Rowdy's. This is the Homeowner Show.
Ow!
With the Contractors Network. We're going to have some fun.
Yep. We're going to... Well, you didn't get to come to this last time. I had a good time. You sloughed off.
That's about right.
Slacking.
It happens. What am I supposed to do? It happens.
Yeah.
It happens. Hey, but we should probably go ahead and tell people that we're really proud to be sponsored tonight, right?
Tonight we are sponsored by Lone Star Appliance.
That's right.
Repair. We're excited to have these guys sponsoring the episode. Great company. I actually had to call them. Oh, look at that. Look at that.
Bumpity bumps are in there.
Look at that. It wouldn't be a show without the bumpity bumps. So anyway, I actually had to call them recently. We had a gas leak in our dryer.
Really?
Yeah. But I gave Sarah a call. She was all over it. They're actually coming out I think they're coming out to fix it tomorrow.
Okay.
So we're gonna get all sorted out so that my family doesn't die. So thank you, Lone Star Appliance Repair. You guys are fantastic.
Let's make sure that doesn't happen.
Well, and we've got we'll throw up the website and everything down there at the bottom, and we'll give you guys a phone number, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later on. But right now we've got our good friend Christian Waldo, who's here manning and helping run everything at the event here at Rowdy's. Shout out to Rowdy's for having us. They were super nice and giving us electricity to
we definitely needed it
to have the show. So, but how you doing, Christian?
Doing good, man. Appreciate you guys being here again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Had a great time last time. So
yeah, and your boys hooked us up with some lighting tonight too.
Yeah, this is nice.
Yeah.
Justin over at iPro is like I don't know that he's helping us. I mean, like maybe you, but like we're not much to look at.
Nah.
It's like
it is what it is, man.
He put light on ugly things and
accentuate the ugly.
I've seen a few museum exhibits like that. They were well attended.
Oh, wow.
True. It's true. People will come far and wide to see weird.
They will, yeah. So let's hope for that.
Yeah,
there we go,
far and
man.
wide. So what all we got going on tonight?
Yeah, so we got the Contractor Networking event, third Thursday every month at Rowdy's here. So tonight is it's just that, contractor networking. And, my partner Christian Scott's going to jump on here in just a second. But he, a little backstory to the Contractor Network. It's actually a Facebook group. It's got about 46,000 members all across the Houston area, North Houston, South Houston, surrounding. Christian started that from scratch. He's a contractor himself and grew it organically. Tons of great members in there. And, I saw a lot of potential to do some networking events. We did some events together back in the day with Biz Connection. And so we, I reached out to Christian and said, hey, man, let's take this thing up. Yeah, let's take it to the next level. And, I had a little experience with throwing some events. Got the Crawfish Critic event, shout out, coming out April 14th and 15th this year. So I've thrown this will be our fourth one of those. And, between that and the Biz Connection events, I felt like we could do something. And so we had our last event was it last month?
Yeah, it was last month.
Yeah, early December, I believe, and then went through the holidays, and now we're here on the second one. Couldn't be happier. But yeah, that group has done a lot for the people in the area, man. Contractors, GCs connecting with subs, and subs connecting with homeowners to get stuff done.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
It's been amazing. And so now to bring it full circle to a networking event, actually start meeting the people that you're networking with in the page, it's a really cool thing. And so that's kind of what we're doing here tonight.
I dig it, man. I one of the reasons I love events like this is because if you've ever worked with a contractor of any sort, that if they've been in business for any amount of time, they don't hang out with losers.
Right.
And like I don't mean that to be like derogatory towards anybody, but like you're going to find good people to work with when you hang out with people that and who have treated you right in the past. And so I love events like this because even if somebody comes in that's kind of shady, right? I mean, my friends who I've done business with will go like, hey man, stay away from that guy,
right?
Or stay away from that gal, or like, hey, that person will do a good job for you, or
right.
that gal will get it done. And like that's why you show up, man, because you can't get that kind of information just searching Facebook
or Google or anything like that. Yeah, you're right. You go to Google, everybody dresses their website up to be professional. You know, and you do have the Google reviews you can go off of.
I beg to pardon. No, not everybody dresses their website up to look great.
As far as putting their own client reviews on it, and all that stuff. But and I actually, I tell people, even when you meet somebody at an event like this, even when you still got your due diligence that you've got to do, but one of the most important ways of doing due diligence is recommendations and referrals. If I know that a lot of people have worked with this person before, there's a really good chance that, and if he's out there and he's busting his butt every day to build a name and reputation for himself, he doesn't want to ruin that, or she. We got some women contractors here tonight as well. And so it's just a great way to vet is word of mouth. It's before the internet even this year. So
I will tell you a weird stat that we've learned in the show is overwhelmingly, like, our most downloaded episodes are when we have female guests.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And and we actually do have quite a few females who are contractors on the show. So, shout out to the ladies out there. If you want to, get some exposure, come on the show.
Absolutely.
Your content just tends to do better
on
our platform for whatever reason. I think part of it is most of them are better at generating activity through social media.
Yes, I agree with that 100%. Coming from Biz Connection to this group, I've noticed that there's not as many females in the Contractor Network. Therefore, the Contractor Network Facebook page isn't as
active.
No, it's very active. Where the most activity comes from, and I actually started tracking this recently.
Okay.
So I have a virtual assistant that now runs the group, and these events, the sponsorships from these events is what pays them, right? The owners here don't take profits from these events. It stays in the bank account. It pays our employee. The employee makes sure all the spam stays out, but he also tracks every single deal or referral that goes through the group. So if someone posts, "Hey, I'm looking for someone who can build my fence," right? He grabs the link to that post, puts it in my spreadsheet, and says fence, right? So I literally have data on every job that gets passed through the group, and I forgot I told him to do that. So I go to my spreadsheet, which I run a few different businesses, and this isn't the primary focus for me all the time. So I'm jumping into it. I open this spreadsheet and I go, holy cow! In the last 2 months, we had over 800 different
referrals and such.
Referrals, and it's not even necessarily referrals. It's like, hey, I need this done. I need this concrete slab poured. I need this house remodeled. Hey, I'm an investor. I'm remodeling this house. I need a good GC to come in. Hey, I need landscaping. Just pest control, all kinds of stuff. You know what I mean? And it's the amount was overwhelming. I was like, holy cow! There's millions and millions of dollars being done every week. In that group. Think about it. You do an $80,000 remodel with contracting. When you say, I'm not exaggerating when I'm saying millions and millions of dollars, and it was really eye-opening to me to see that. And that's one of the biggest things that the Contractor Network is focused on right now, is trying to expose the bad actors. The people that are bidding on these jobs super cheap, running away with down payments. We have cut back on that so much by having a complaint form on our website. It's tough being in the situation of an admin for a group like that. For the simple fact is you have to be judge, jury, and executioner sometimes, right? And it's really tough when you have one side of the story. Oh, this guy screwed me over. Okay, well, you're not getting the whole side. So I don't allow people to blast in the group anymore. That was a big thing that people did. Oh, this guy did this. Now there's a complaint form and a due process that we go through just to eliminate that, because there's three sides to every story. There's their side, and the truth, right?
Yeah.
and so that's what we have to do as admin, is try and get as close to that truth as possible, which is not fun by any means, but it's necessary. To be able to get the bad actors out, because there is so much money being done in these groups that it is our responsibility at the end of the day to try and eliminate as much bad business as possible. And we'll never get it all out of there, but if people are doing bad business, they're going to get exposed at this point.
Well, and I'm sure, because we do have a lot of business people and contractors who listen to the show. I assume that's pretty reassuring to them, because most guys, if you've been in business, you've been on a Facebook group or something like that, and you've had people blast other people and whoa, this just got toxic really, really quick.
Right.
And I don't want to get, and then you kind of are hesitant to even get involved, because I may do everything right, and he still might be mad and just besmirch me anyway.
Right.
So I think it's really healthy to look, we're not going to do that. Here's the process. and we'll handle it.
And you're talking 46,000 people, right? Like
Right.
that. We're not talking like a group with 1,000 people. Like
Right.
once you get to that number, you're getting to a point where like something's got to give
Right.
somewhere, and you got to take control somewhere. Otherwise, someone else will.
Absolutely.
right? You know.
And it's been tough, to try and sit there and think, okay, how can we accomplish this, And I think we've done a really good job at it with the complaint side, but it's an ongoing process, and
Yeah.
I think that, and more bad actors will continue to pop up, you'll
sure.
never purge them all, but that's why networking events like this are so important. A bad actor is not going to show his face here
No.
and come network with the people he's screwing over,
No.
right? And so, like,
And if they do, they won't last long.
No.
exactly right,
Not at a place called Rowdy's.
Right, right. So these networking events are amazing for that. And we talked a lot in Biz Connection about collaboration over competition. And this is a great environment to start to collaborate with other contractors. There's, Montgomery County and really Houston, some of the fastest growing areas in the country, booming with development and construction. And, so contractors just have so much opportunity in these areas. There's no need to look at it as competition. So you have general contractors who are sharing ideas, who are helping each other out, sharing subs when needed. Just so much collaboration also happens here to level up your mindset, and your network is your net worth, right? It's cliche.
Absolutely.
It's cliche, but it's true.
Yeah.
And this is an amazing opportunity for people to come out and meet them. And I can't wait for you guys and the listeners to meet some of our sponsors, because the guys that are paying to be put in the spotlight, that they're not bad actors.
Right.
They want people to see them, and they're not spending their hard-earned money to do wrong. They're trying to get their name out there, build their reputation, and when that's really important to someone, they're going to go above and beyond, even if they have to lose money to make it right. Mm-hmm. Oftentimes they will. And so we have some amazing sponsors. So I just want to give a shout out real quick. And I think Chris Turner. We've known him since Biz Connection days, actually, when it was called Biz Connect. Chris, actually, I'll give you a funny story about Chris Turner. And he's with Southern Lux Home Innovations, who is doing some amazing things. When my partner and I, my old partner for Biz Connection, when we had our first networking event, we had 2 people show up. 2. The next one we had over 300. But the first one, which we ended up deciding to call it dinner, right? So
it's a business dinner. You still wrote it off.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Chris Turner was one of those 2 people, and it was, and I've known him, since then. I didn't know anything about him up until that point, him and his wife Lakin, and but since then, great guys. Now they're actually our title sponsor here tonight, doing some amazing things. They partnered up with Jared Ville and his wife as well, started Southern Lux Home Innovations, and have absolutely been killing it. So if you're in the market for a barn dominium, those are your guys.
Beautiful work,
dude.
Too.
That is on my bucket list in the next. And I'm not even gonna call it a bucket list. That's my immediate goal in the next 1 to 2 years, is to get Chris Turner to build me an amazing barn dominium. And I said it to him earlier. I was like, and a badass Viking table for my whole family. I want that, man. And what they're doing is amazing, and the quality of work that they're doing is pretty awesome. So I appreciate you guys having me on. I've got to get out here and tend to these to all of our guests here. But I want to bring my partner, Christian Scott, on.
Sure.
Let him follow me up, and then we're going to get Chris Turner over here.
Cool.
And we've got about 6 or 7 other sponsors that we want you guys to talk with.
Yeah,
so thank you guys so much for being
thank
here.
you.
Hey, shout out to you guys, man. See y'all later.
All right. Man, it's good.
Yep.
It's really good.
So far, so good.
So far, so good.
We're off to a good start.
That's right.
So don't blow it, Christian.
I'll try not to. What's up, guys?
What's going
Not
on, man?
much.
The founder of the feast
Yes, sir.
has
Yeah,
decided
sure.
to sit down.
Go ahead and make sure you pull that microphone right up to you. There you go.
Yeah.
Is that better?
That's better.
Absolutely.
All right, cool.
That's better.
So what's been going on, man?
Oh man, we've had the holidays.
Yeah.
So Merry Christmas. And
Get
Happy
everything
New
you
Year,
wanted?
everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My kids are good. My kids were happy, and we had a good time.
All right.
Had a good time. I was happy.
Awesome.
The new year, man. New year, new opportunities.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
super excited for 2023.
Yeah.
Super excited.
You got some big goals, I'm sure.
Yeah, I do, and I think everybody else does. I think everybody was kind of tired over, the last couple of years that we've had as a nation.
Yeah.
It's been difficult for everybody, and this is the first year that we don't have no BS in front of us, so we can all go make money. We can make this put the gears in motion in America again.
Yeah. You mean the government's not going to try and stop us from doing business this year? Is that
I hope not.
No, you hope not. Fingers crossed, everybody.
Well, good luck.
We never know anymore, man. You never know.
They tried.
Yeah.
Did not win. Here we are.
They did. I mean, man, they did their best.
They did their best. They did their best.
Well, dude, you were telling me earlier that you're kind of moving into some concrete stuff.
Yeah, I'm doing. I'm going to put together a concrete company. I have some really good people that are hungry to work, and that have really good quality of work. And so I'm going to partner that with the resources and the network that I have, and see where it goes. I'm excited. I really enjoy the concrete process of like foundations, and how to build driveways and stuff like that. It's pretty simple and clear cut. We can get in and out and get to the next project.
For sure. I mean, and I think you told me you wanted to do like more foundation kind of work too, right?
Yeah, I like the foundations. I think there's a big market for that here in Houston. You know, there's a ton of new building, and there's a lot of builders out there, and I have a lot of them in my network.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited to work with them and see what we can build together. I love building beautiful homes. So. Oh
yeah, man. Well, have you seen any fluctuation in the price of material on concrete? Because I know for a while, I mean, like probably for the last 2.5 years, it's been pretty high, right?
Yeah, I would think so. I'm not 100%
It still is.
sure. Yeah.
Is it?
I think all the prices. I think everything's still kind of like, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
So
kind of floating in the unknown a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you? And I don't know if you were involved in it at all, like kind of pre-pandemic, but like, do you remember kind of what the going rate was for concrete?
I don't.
No, because I don't either.
What I do, so I do a little different. I'm putting together crews that I can manage, and we can go do big projects. I'm getting people together that have been doing it,
so for you, real quick, what's a big project for you? Like what?
So, for example, we did a bid on an aircraft hangar.
Okay.
Earlier this week, I finished it.
Was this like on private land or at an airport?
It's in an airport in South Houston.
Okay.
Not Hobby Airport. But it's like it's one of those smaller airports out in the country, and the owner is adding on to his airport. He's building a new aircraft hangar.
Nice.
And so it's like 10-inch concrete, because all the planes have to park on it, and it has to be strong enough and everything. So it was really fun to put that bid together. Hopefully I get it, but that'd be really cool to like market and everything.
For sure.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. But I'm putting everything together. I did do a lot, and then I realized that there was some things that I needed to work on. So I'm taking a couple steps back in my company and going through all my systems and filling in the holes where I need to fill them.
Yeah.
To have it a smoother process for all parties involved in the future.
Yeah.
And then I'm always fine-tuning my crews and fine-tuning all the people in my company. So
nice. Do you have any current projects going on?
We just finished a driveway earlier this week in Richmond.
Okay.
Right now, I've been trying to final out some of my personal projects so that I can only focus on this.
Okay.
So I'm excited for that. I do have an upcoming project in the Heights. It's a complete. It's an insurance complete remodel of this house. The owners moved out, and the movers left the water running on the third floor.
Oh my gosh!
Oh yeah, and it leaked everywhere, all the way down to the ground floor. So
are they just going down to bare bones on the inside?
Yeah, all those spots. All the wood floors were destroyed. So like, there's no patching that. It's near impossible to go in there and be like, oh, I can find that floor that you bought 10 years ago.
Yeah.
At Floor & Decor. No, it's not. It's very hard. But I'm really excited for that one. My team's gonna go in there, replace all the floors, paint the whole house, refix the sheetrock.
Yeah.
Redo all the electrical areas where all the water damage was. And
so on that one, was it because you said the movers left the water on the third floor? So had they already sold the house?
No.
Oh
no.
Jeez.
But the good thing is,
no for either way. But
yeah, no, that moving's already hard.
Yeah,
right. So and it already costs a lot of money to move. So imagine they moved from Houston to San Antonio.
Okay.
So imagine getting that call. And I wasn't there when the water was it was dripping.
Yeah.
I wish I had been. That'd been some cool videos. But
No kidding. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing that, how much water restoration damage water damage needs the water restoration kind of niche to come in and take care of things. It's not just during hurricanes.
Nope.
I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that causes that and some big damage. And water does a lot of damage.
Oh yeah, and and if you don't get it taken care of, you have your mold. And that's
You'd almost rather have a fire.
problem.
Yeah, in some ways.
I mean,
yeah.
like, you know what I mean? It's like, because you could, like, that mold gets in there, and then you got to tear everything up again. I mean,
dry it out, remediate all the bleaches and everything. So it's a big process. I don't know if you guys remember, but we had a Labor Day flood. Do you guys remember that? Yeah, that I did a lot of work in Humboldt during that, and it was all like just streets and streets of people's flooded houses in Humboldt and Kingwood and everywhere, and there's a lot of insurance stuff out there during those times.
Yeah, Houston is an area that really floods frequently.
Yeah, and to me that's surprising. I haven't lived here I've lived here for about 7 years.
Okay.
And being so close to the coast, you would have thought that they had thought of that.
Yeah, build houses taller or something.
Yeah. Well, the thing is I grew up I lived the last 6 years in Fifth Ward.
Okay.
Okay. So I bought my first house there.
Okay.
And I still have it there. My wife and me and my family, we moved to Beasley, right under Rosenberg, and on my street, my house was the only one that didn't flood during Harvey. In our front yard, it was like waist deep. It was crazy. But my house was the only one. It's like 3 feet in the air already. But FEMA is approving. I'm gonna have to figure out how to figure this out. But FEMA is approving these demos of these older houses that I guess got flooded, and they are like completely funding a complete new build for these people.
Yeah.
And so they have gone in there and drilled their piers and put the foundation, and it is like 10 feet in the air.
Oh my goodness!
It is a beach house.
Yeah, and yours is on a regular slab.
Yeah, no, mine's on bricks. I mean, it's an old house.
But still, it's there's a 10 foot up in the air, and yours is like right there.
Yeah, yeah. So, but I'm gonna tell you, like, I'm not tripping, because I'm gonna see what those values do to our street, because there's 2 of them on our street that's doing that, and if it makes sense for me to do that same thing, I'm gonna do it
for sure.
Yes.
Man, who was it that we talked to? Because I think it was after the last big flood that we had. There was a company that was going around actually jacking houses up.
Oh yeah.
You remember that? Was it Lisa that was?
Yeah, I think it was her.
She had it done to her house.
She had it Lisa agents.
Yeah.
But it was for a different reason, that they were not flooded.
Yeah, but they
wanted to prevent it. So what they did is they literally took her entire house, like 2,800 square foot or something, and
that's a crazy process.
Right, they jacked the entire thing up. There's a video.
Tunneled underneath the house
to
like put these jacks on it, and then like did it all at the same time after they like unhooked all the plumbing. Like, it's a whole process.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm literally surprised that FEMA is trying to like fund anything.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna keep working on it. I have two tenants. I built 2 apartments in the back of my house.
Okay.
So I have 2 tenants that still live there, and they give me all the details.
There you go.
Telling you what's going on.
Yep.
So, hey, this one fell down after they tried to jack it up. Let's not do that.
Do better.
Yep.
Well, so I would be remiss if I didn't ask you about the driveway, because my wife has been after me for a new driveway.
Okay.
I wonder why.
If you've ever been on my driveway, you'd understand. We got ripped off. I guess it was 4 years ago
and 6 years ago.
I don't know. Who knows? So, guy told me
Year 4 and 6 is like the same.
Yeah,
it's all
why
blends
not?
in now.
Yeah. Either way, it was crap. Guy told me he was gonna re-asphalt it,
Okay.
and all he did was put down like recycled asphalt,
Oh man.
and didn't even seal it, and it just floated away with the first rain. I mean, it was like, all right, come on. So anyway, we probably have at least 100 yards of driveway that needs to be done. So like, what should I expect with like tear out, like square foot? I mean, do you do it by the square foot? I'd imagine.
Sometimes. I'm still working on getting my square foot numbers finalized. I have a couple of different crews that I can choose from, depending on, like, if I have a job that needs the most smart people, like an aircraft hangar.
Right.
We're going to use those people, and then I have other people. But I would say about $6 to $8 a square foot.
Okay.
For what they would call flat work.
Right.
Yeah, and
is that so with driveways?
That would be concrete.
Concrete, right? Yeah. That's what she wants.
Yeah.
Well, that's about the only thing that's going to work.
Yeah, it is.
Where you're at, because I mean, there's just a lot of there's just a. I mean, it slopes down quite a bit. I mean,
the driveway is basically a gully.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so it like every ounce of water from your property goes down your driveway.
Yep.
So
that's not too bad.
Well, it's. I mean,
the price isn't too bad
per square foot. It's not bad at all.
Yeah. No, I can do that.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, the driveway that I did in Richmond, so I can break that one down. The driveway that I did in Richmond was just it was just a regular 2-car garage, like probably a regular home in Katy.
Yeah.
One of those 2-story houses. We did that one for about $7,000.
Okay.
In one day. So it was all done in one day. It was demoed out in one day. We laid the forms and we poured the concrete, and by the time the sun went down, we were finishing it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
So I was very happy.
And so with I know nothing about driveways. So do you with driveways? Because I know like on foundations you need rebar. Do you need rebar on driveways?
Yeah, we use rebar.
Okay.
It's almost the same. It's the same concept. You know how on foundations you see
thick?
it and it's like, no. Well, there's a couple different sizes. You have like number 3, number 4, and which are the two main ones.
Uh-huh.
We normally use number 4, and then on foundations we use whatever the plans tell us.
Well, yeah.
So they tell us exactly what to use. With driveways, you don't need plans for them,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes we need to talk to the city for like permitting and stuff like that.
Right.
And we always just ask, do you guys have a suggestion of what you need us to use and stuff like that. So,
Okay.
But it's normally all the same.
Okay. Cool, man. Well, anything else you want everybody at home to know about this event or about your business?
We're going to be doing this every third Thursday.
Okay.
I think Christian Waldo said that too, but we're every third Thursday, and we're just going to stay consistent with it. I think each month, you guys were here for our first one, so we talked last month.
Yeah.
So this month, I feel a lot more comfortable. I feel a lot more confident. The marketing this month was a little bit more difficult because we had like all the holidays and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited for this next month.
Okay.
Because we can immediately start hitting it. We are putting together. I'm putting together. Christian and Chris and me are all putting together processes and systems to be able to just kind of press a button and it happen, and us all get our name out there, and our sponsors get their name out there.
For sure.
It's definitely a lot of work and a lot of time, but I think it's worth it.
For sure. Yeah, man. You guys are doing great work. And keep it up. Because like we love coming out to them, so I hope you keep inviting us.
Definitely.
But yeah, this is your first one. What do you think so far?
That's great, man. There's already a lot of people here, and I know it's going to grow a little bit more.
Since I sat down.
Yeah, it really did.
I was kind of sweating it there for a second, to be honest.
Is anybody coming? We did start before the event actually started. We wanted to kind of get a head start on everything. But yeah, man. So we'll be here the rest of the evening, and I think, are you bringing us somebody next, or?
Yeah, I'll probably go get Chris.
Okay.
And tell him it's his turn.
I got some things to say to him.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Bring him on over.
I will. Well, thank you guys. I'm really excited that you guys are here.
Oh,
thanks,
appreciate you guys coming.
Always a blast, man. We're
Yes, sir.
looking forward to this and many, many more.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Christian.
All right. We'll talk to you guys later.
All right. So,
I'll be right back.
want to give a shout out again to tonight's sponsor, Lone Star Appliance. You can reach them at 936-296-3355 for all of your appliance repair needs. Great company. My good friend Sarah owns that, operates it, runs it right here in the Montgomery County area. And they are growing. And, I think a lot of this is, man, people have done the math, and it's with the distribution of appliances, like the supply lines on those have been jacked.
It's been crazy.
Yeah, you can't get stuff.
Well, you couldn't get stuff, and then they started getting them like crazy, and then they just flew off the shelves, right? And then
whatever came in was just going away because people needed them because their stuff was broken.
Right.
And so then companies like Sarah's, like Lone Star Appliance Repair, comes in and says like, well, look, rather than like waiting, for months and months and months. Just get that one fixed.
Get it fixed, which is actually better anyway. I mean, because take a fridge for example.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to get rid of a fridge, you got to drain all the Freon out.
Oh, do you really?
Yes, you have to drain the Freon out, which means they have to do that in a sustainable way.
Uh-huh.
So there's a process for that, and then you got to dump it somewhere.
Who does that? Who drains it? Do you know? Do you have the inside scoop, or are you just
No, like you have to.
what are your bona fides, Kevin?
Well, it depends on
Jeez.
where you're at, where you can drain it. To be honest, you can drain it illegally, or you can
In South Dakota.
That's right.
All
but
right. Where do I go?
But here's the thing: like there are places that'll take your refrigerator,
Yeah.
they'll recycle it,
Uh-huh.
and I don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
But they won't take it if it's got Freon in it. And so I don't even know I don't know what you're supposed to do.
Well, what most people do is throw it on the side of the road.
That's exactly right.
You won't take it? Fine.
I can tell you what I'm going to do with mine.
Bury it?
Maybe.
Turn it into a smoker?
I'm done that before. I'm going to cut the line, drain the Freon, and take it to the recycle place.
Yeah.
I don't know where you're supposed to take. Someone tell us. Where do you take
Where do you go?
recycled Freon or to recycle it?
Maybe Sarah can tell us. I'm sure she's had to dispose of some of these things.
Actually, really
Hi,
smart.
babe.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, we're live.
Yeah. Come on in.
You gonna come give me some sugar? What?
Chicken tacos?
No. I will. It's my wife.
Hello, JoJo.
Where?
Hey, come on in. Come say hi. You're live. I didn't turn your camera on, although now your camera's on.
Jojo?
There's JoJo.
See? Hey.
There you are.
We got all the pretty girls over here.
Subscribe, it's free. Take your like parents and your grandma that don't know how. Just subscribe. They won't even notice.
That's right. Yeah. It's clean.
Yeah, we have a clean show.
There's a higher chance that my wife would swear on this show before I would.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would like to see that happen.
Okay, so I got there's a couple of news items as we wait for Turner to get over here.
Okay.
That I don't know if you've heard about them.
I don't know if I have either.
Have you heard about the stuff going on with Southern Star and Kyle Rittenhouse?
Oh, just a little bit. But,
Just a little bit?
But let's talk about it.
What's going on, man? My turn. If you want to, come on.
Come on. We're going to talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yes.
So
for sure.
I know your name's Chris.
My name's Chris.
I have no idea what you do.
You and me both.
You still trying to figure it out?
Man, area.
Okay.
Long time ago.
Yeah. Back when you could have clubs downtown.
Back in
Didn't
story.
Didn't they just close down like a really famous honky tonk in Houston, like because it got too close to a school or something like that?
I haven't followed that.
Okay,
Couldn't tell you.
I'll ask my sister about it. She I think I remember that. Sorry, go ahead.
But my background has been, working in small businesses, running them, making money for other people, and COVID. Big Texas was a casualty of COVID, and
Is that what got it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Sorry, man.
Yeah. Well, if it hadn't been for that, I'd still be a W-2 employee.
There you go.
Okay.
So what I do now is I can do coaching, consulting. I can build you a digital presence. All the stuff I learned doing it for a small business for other people, I can
Yeah.
help other people do now.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So for the Contractor Network, I built out the website, which don't judge me by that one. That was a quick job. We're still working on it.
all right.
But build websites, I've spent other people's money to the tune of probably $750,000 running digital campaigns over the past 10 years. So
Okay.
for small businesses, that's for like a Walmart or something, that's a month. But
So are you doing this under your name, or do you have a name for the business?
well, I have Chris Chelly Coaching,
Okay. Yeah.
which
cool.
is to be determined if we're going to stick with that or not. But,
All right.
but it's a starting point.
Yeah, for sure.
I've bounced a few other ideas around, but my job is to help people win. That's all I want to do.
Nice. And so what all is entailed in that? I mean, like you said, building out a digital presence. I mean, what other kind of are there other things that you do as far as like helping people grow their business? I mean, do you sit down and do like one-on-ones with them? What's I guess what I'm asking is kind of what is the onboarding process for you?
It is tailor-made. There is no process because it's tailor-made to you.
Okay.
Whatever the client needs. I've got a client that has me helping him with websites, live music booking, and building his company out. Leadership is one of my strong suits.
Okay.
Something that I've read a lot about, learned a lot about, and done for a long time. I'm still in the beginning phases of finding that niche that sticks for me. But at the end of the day, I'm just here to help.
Cool. I mean, are there certain kinds of businesses that you're looking to work with more? I mean, are you kind of targeting like service businesses or what?
I would say anything that's a small business.
Okay.
Anything, and anyone that has employees, anyone that has challenges, and anybody that's frustrated and just feels like they don't have a partner.
Yeah.
Call me up. I'll be your partner.
I mean, that's interesting because I think a lot of businesses feel that way all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, when you own a small business, there's always something that you're going, man, if I could just figure that thing out, then I might be able to do this, that, or the other, right? Like, and even if you're not like in dire straits, like, it's like counseling, right? Like I tell people, everybody should be in counseling. It's not because you're all screwed up, it's just because sometimes you need someone to talk to. Sometimes
right.
you need someone to listen to, right?
Even though you are.
You're probably screwed up anyway. But
We
it's
all
not.
are.
That's
yeah.
right.
But I mean, there's a stigma behind counselors because it's like, well, you only go to counselor whenever you're messed up, and it's like, well, if you're proactive about things, you go to a counselor in order to keep things moving and be healthy, right? So I kind of hear what you're saying with the consulting side of things. Is like, look, let's talk about your business, figure out what your weak parts are, let's get those strengthened, and if something else starts going down, we'll work on that. And it's just kind of and I know that it's not an ongoing process for most people, but I think it should be.
Yeah.
I think if there's a way to do like an ongoing, like retainer consulting, that would be amazing,
And with the clients I have, I do have that deal with some of them.
Awesome.
More or less.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you look at like, they have, I don't even know, like chaplains for small businesses now.
Yeah.
Like not even small, but for big, huge, massive businesses even. Like there are chaplains who will come in and just work with the employees. And I think that like consulting, if you're doing that with the leaders, like the business owners, with the administration, with whoever it is, like that could be huge.
It all ties together. Counselors, pastors, coaches, therapists, whatever you want to call it. Everybody's doing the same thing. They're helping you get from where you are to where you want to be.
Yeah.
And getting through those roadblocks that inevitably you put up yourself. That's one of my things. I put a Facebook post up on my personal page a few months ago, and I said, here's a comprehensive list of all the people that have held me back, kept me from going where I want to go, and, done me wrong in the past. And then I did ... and then it was my name at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's so true.
It's about taking responsibility and knowing that you're the one that's going to make the difference.
So how much of that of what you do is mindset? How much of mindset shifting do you do?
That's all of it. I mean,
it's so much of it. Has to be.
I mean, I wouldn't say 100% because, I'm still helping people with technical things like setting up LLCs and, I was helping a guy set up an LLC through one of those platforms. It wasn't LegalZoom, but it was like that.
Yeah.
And it gets to the part of, all right, would you like us to process your federal tax ID? It's only an extra $149. And he's like, yeah, have him do that. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
You go to the IRS website and do that for free.
Yeah. It's easy.
Yeah.
Click a few buttons, right?
Yeah, but you don't know what you don't know, and
That's
if you've
right.
never done that before,
that's exactly it.
You're
So-
scared because it's like, I need somebody to do that for me. Just because you just want to get rolling with whatever it is that you're doing. You don't want to have to worry about all that nonsense.
That's exactly it.
Yeah. So I think what you're doing, man, is something that a lot of people are really hungry for. I just started reading this new book, which, by the way, I have a goal of like I can read a lot of books in the year, but I listen to them.
Yeah.
So, but like my goal this year is to actually physically read through 18. I'm still going to continue to listen to books, but
Okay.
like physically read through. And I just started my second one, which was Think Like a Horse.
Okay.
Have you heard of this one?
I have not.
So I hadn't either. My dad actually gave it to me, and it's this cowboy, and I think he's in Colorado, but he for years and years and years he breaks horses. That's what he's always done since he was a kid. He'd break horses, and he had somebody change the way that he thought about breaking horses. And he and his wife were running a ranch, and I think this was in like the early to mid 90s. They were just doing their thing at the ranch, and Microsoft reached out to him and said, "Hey, we're going to be in Colorado. Could you put like on a rodeo for our team? We'd love to come and experience like a real like rodeo." And he goes, "Yeah, sure, no problem. We can do that for you." And because they threw gobs and gobs of money at him to put this full
Microsoft,
production on.
yeah.
And he goes, "Well, I decided that since we're going to do the rodeo, I would go ahead and do a demonstration with them with a wild Mustang and show them kind of how I do my thing." And he said he has never been in the horse breaking business since, because he goes, thousands and thousands of CEOs and CFOs and COOs and owners and operators and all come to him to do a demonstration on how to break a horse. And he says whatever it is that I'm showing people about horses is transforming the way that they think about people and management and how things happen in their lives. And he goes, they can't get enough of it. And so I'm just in the beginning of this book, but like he's kind of going through like, here's what it is that I think people are seeing in me watching work with these horses that they're taking away and then telling their friends, saying, "Hey, you've got to go see this guy and watch what he does." And I'm very familiar with the way that he works with the horses. The system that he uses, and it's a very cool system. I mean, because most people think of it as being like sort of violent and like there's a lot of bucking and gnashing of teeth and all this kind of stuff. But it's actually super cool and very calm. And just in the few chapters I've started with, he said people walk away crying because they didn't know that they could influence people, because they're watching him do this to the horse. They didn't know that you could approach people that way,
Right.
with the way that he's doing. And so like what you're talking about, like it's just a complete flipping mindset of how you have been doing things versus how you could be doing things.
And you just reminded me, God, probably about 15 years ago, I was reading a lot about dog behavior. Okay. And what you're saying is resonating a lot with me because dogs are black and white.
Yeah.
It's yes and no, and I think most animals are that way. Us humans have all this complicated brain, and we get to think for ourselves, and all this stuff other animals can't do. But when you break it down, we all started the same.
Mm-hmm.
So and I don't want to say managing people is like training dogs, but it's not far off.
No, it's not. It's not. I mean, like there's a lot of comparable skills in there.
Sure.
Absolutely.
There's another book that's really good, and I don't know if you've got this on your list, but it's called Soundtracks. I heard of Soundtracks.
I hadn't heard of that one. Who wrote it?
I'm blanking on who wrote it right now, but I'll find it and I'll let you know. But it's all about the things that you play in your head, right? Like the things that run through your mind. Because I mean, for so many of us, like we think, like I want to go do that, but it's like, but what if? What if that happens, or what if this happens? It's like, well, how would you know if that was going to happen?
Yeah,
right.
So like, is it sort of addressing self-talk?
It is in many ways. Yeah, and that kind of stuff, like that gets to all of us. I mean, there are going to be people who wanted to be here at this networking group thing tonight, and they're going to go, I don't know how to talk to people, or what if someone, what if no one talks to me,
right?
You know, or what if I say something and I say it wrong, right? Like there's all this stuff that goes through your mind. It's like you're playing a soundtrack in your head that is not the soundtrack that you need to be listening to.
Yeah,
so and it's good stuff.
So many books on that exact subject. One I'm reading now. I just looked at it. My audio book. I usually have an audio book, a paper book, and a Kindle book. I'll go in at the same time. Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Joe Dispenza.
Ooh.
It's very interesting, but it's all about conquering. There's a lot of physiology. Is physiology the right word?
We'll find out.
It's the first part of the book is him giving the you're talking about mindset and how. What was the title of the book you just talked? Soundtracks. So the soundtracks you play in your mind, how you'll manifest whatever you keep playing in your mind.
Yeah.
And in one of the books I just finished, and again, the titles aren't coming to me right now, but the quote was, I can't guarantee the positive thinking will work 100% of the time, but I will guarantee you that negative thinking will work 100% of the time.
That's good.
But this book, the one that I just said, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, he starts with the science behind why the brain works that way. And I haven't finished it yet, but it's going into meditations and how to change your neural pathways through meditation to what's the word I'm looking for? These lights are so bright.
All thanks to iPro.
That's right.
Justin. But to change your neural pathways to erase not erase your past, but erase the ways you think that have got you to where you are, which are keeping you from where you want to be.
Okay.
Best way I can put it.
Yeah.
Now I'll shut up so you guys can get to more
No,
guests.
No. I was going to ask you. I mean, like you're a coach, and I think books are probably a way that you kind of like feed yourself. Are there any other things that you do for yourself to kind of keep you informed, keep you inspired, to help your clients?
Well, reading, obviously, podcasts.
What are you listening to these days?
Podcast-wise?
Yeah.
I like Rob Dial's Mindset Mentor.
Okay.
Not sure if you've heard of that one. He claims it's a top 100 podcast in the world, but good for him.
Sure, yeah. Could be.
And then when I'm at the gym, I listen to, I think his name's Eddie Pinero. He does YouTube videos. It's just motivational the whole way through. So just, he tells a lot of his own stories, but
right.
Just getting you through getting you over those humps. I mean, because God knows I have them too.
Yeah. No, and sometimes you just need the kick in the pants.
That's it. But,
yeah. Awesome.
But yeah,
Cool.
Motivational videos, whatever it takes to get you going.
Cool. Well, Coach Chris, thank you for sitting down with us, man.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate that.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, real quick, if people want to reach out to you, they need a coach. How do they get a hold of you?
You can find me at chrischelly.com. Again, don't judge me by that website. I threw it up just so I'd have a
so you got
have a place to go. But yeah, that's one way to reach me, and I'll be working on that one.
Fantastic.
Okay, great.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Good
All right,
talking with you,
have a
bud.
good All right. Well, maybe they'll send somebody else over for us.
They will. I want to. So, do you remember what we were talking about before?
Yeah, you were talking about Southern Star.
So you said you
and
heard a
Chris
little bit about
Rittenhouse.
it.
Yeah, I've heard just a little bit about it.
What have you heard?
Well,
This is what I'm curious about. I'm curious what people have heard. I'm not claiming to have all the facts. I'm just curious as to what people have heard.
I've mainly just heard there's a problem,
And
that's about it.
so you know that Rittenhouse was involved.
Yeah, but I don't really know more than that.
Okay, so here's what I know.
Okay.
This group that is a anti, what's the word? Where they cancel your speech or whatever.
Oh.
Basically, it's a free speech advocacy group, right? And Kyle Rittenhouse was going to be one of the speakers. And so, but the group that was organizing the event didn't disclose that Rittenhouse and some of the other people were going to be guests. And so when they found out, Southern Star canceled it.
Oh my goodness.
So, but what some of the hullabaloo around it is that they think that some people are saying that HEB put the squeeze on Southern Star and said, look, you either cancel this event or we're canceling you from our stores.
That's not
because
okay.
they're one of their biggest distributors.
Well, yeah.
And so the CEO of Southern Star has been making the interview tour over the last week or so.
Oof.
So we can circle back around because we got
Lakin.
a Lakin.
We need
So go ahead and put some.
I'm ready for this.
We don't
that
want
way
we
you
don't want to
can-
mess up your
Y'all
hair, but
sanitize
sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have kids in daycare, so I've
that's
caught all
right.
the things for the past 6 months.
That's right.
I'm probably immune.
I think they were sanitized back in 22, maybe 21.
Yeah, I
don't
mean,
know.
we did.
good.
Yeah.
Well, they came out of the box about that time.
All right.
So,
I just won't breathe in too deep.
So
It's
if
okay.
something happens, we can just always link it back to the company that made them.
as she said, she's not going to breathe in too deep. As she says, sitting in a bar.
That's right.
It is what it is.
In public.
It's fine.
Well, welcome. It's good to
Hi
see
guys,
you.
it's good to see y'all.
You too. Are you tired of talking about barn doors yet?
No, I'm just kidding.
You never
I
get
just
really.
got out of a 4-hour design meeting, so
wow.
you know, it's
Is this a new one?
this is a new one.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's going to be really cool.
Awesome.
So excited
Okay.
about it. Yeah. So the building has already been done. I've been through. If she listens, I love her. I actually do love her. She is wonderful. She's probably one of my favorites that I've ever worked with.
Uh-huh.
But we've done about 7 design meetings. They've all lasted about 6 hours apiece. But I mean, their home is going to be phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like I cannot wait to
How
show
big,
it.
how big is the house?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
It is, so the living space is 3,400 square feet.
Wow.
So it's a very, for a couple.
Is it 1 story or 2 story?
It's one.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's huge.
That's going to take up a lot of real estate.
A little bit. Well,
Yeah.
their shop's bigger.
Oh,
Did y'all do that too?
Yes. Well,
wow.
it's all one.
Oh, it's all
to-do.
together. I
Yeah,
gotcha.
it's attached. So no, it's going to be really cool. But
Well,
it's
so then so the living space is 3,400 square feet. What's
Mm-hmm.
the total on this thing?
72.
oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's
It's-
massive.
It is massive, but it's awesome.
Like, yeah, it would be. It'd have to
It's
be.
in Centerville, Texas.
That's what I was going to ask. Centerville.
It's out in Centerville. Yeah, it's going to be a really cool build. So I was excited. Today was our last one. We both like high-fived and,
We got
did the dance. Like we feel really good about it. All the plans are set. Every detail's done.
Yeah.
We've redlined everything. We're ready to go. So I'm excited. I just get to start ordering now, and that's my favorite part.
Awesome. So
yeah.
I mean, so like it's. Are you guys sitting with a shell right now? I mean, are you got cabinets in?
No, they're progressively. Right now, I believe we're moving into drywall is what's kind of
Okay.
the next phase. So MEPs, drywall, MEPs, electric plumbing, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And so then we'll move into all of the interior stuff. So it's coming up.
So
Yeah.
well, with the foundation already being in place, I imagine some of the plumbing's already there. So that kind of
Yeah, the
limits
underground.
the way some things can go, right?
Mhm. Yeah, so all of that stuff was basically laid in place. We just finalized, like when I say we finalized, like light fixtures and mirrors, like we're down to the nitty gritty, the
Awesome.
hardware,
Okay.
the
Yeah.
the little bitty details. But this house is probably one of the most intricate that I've worked on.
Mm-hmm.
As far as like every room is special, every detail is special, and that's what I'm excited about, just to showcase like something truly.
Yeah. Are you guys going to get to share pictures of this one?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Is there anything in particular you're really excited about, like design wise?
You'll just have to be surprised. I'll let you
Okay.
know. I'll
Okay.
tag you. I'll tag the homeowner show so you can take a look at it.
So it's 3,400 square feet. What is that? How many bedrooms, bathrooms? What does it look like?
So it's 3 bedrooms. So there's a master suite and closet, and their closet's probably bigger than some people's homes.
Yeah.
it's big. If I'm going to say a favorite part, the master suite is it.
Okay.
Yeah, the bathroom and the closet. Yeah, they're going to be good.
Okay.
Wow.
So something I've never asked you guys, since you said how big the big master suite, can you guys put fireplaces in those things?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
There's one going in there.
Nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. Right in front of their standalone bathtub.
Of course.
Yeah, with
man.
their chandelier over the top.
So I've seen one
Wow.
where they put it in front of the bathtub, but it's like a double-sided fireplace where there's like one that's for the bedroom and then one
Yeah.
for the bathroom.
So this one's just gonna be, it's gonna be gas inset. We're just building
Okay.
it out. We actually book. It's a good sized bathroom, but ultimately we're having to say we need a little bit of space from the distance of the standalone tub, and there's going to be a tub filler from
you're
that
good.
it's base. It's going to sit on the floor.
Okay.
And there was not very much room between the end of this to the end of the bathtub, so it's we're kind of having to condense it just a little bit in depth.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
there's not double-sided. It's one-sided.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was a last-minute add-in. I was like, that's a pretty bare wall, guys. It looks like we could put a fireplace on it. And her husband's like, you know what? Yeah.
Why not? Let's do this.
That sounds good.
Why not?
Yeah, absolutely.
All
Who
in.
doesn't want a fireplace in the bathroom?
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I'm there for it.
I had we were in Gatlinburg, Tennessee for an event one time. We were staying at this hotel. And, Gatlinburg is kind of a very it's a very unique place.
Sure.
And this hotel room had a big bathroom and a big kind of a living area over here, and then a bedroom over here. And in between the bedroom and the bath area was a double-sided fireplace in the hotel room. This is a
Yeah.
hotel room. It was super
Nice.
amazing. Yeah, I'm like, I'm like,
You're looking, wow.
I could handle this at home. I could handle this. This would be amazing.
Like,
Yeah,
I'm actually not leaving now. Thank
Right.
you.
That's right.
I think that's their goal.
Yep.
I do.
Well, it's not fair either because like you don't. I mean, like if you'd never seen one before, you wouldn't know that that's an option.
Yeah.
But,
Right.
like once you know that it's an option, it's like I need to have that.
I know.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, why would you not build something like that?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Super cool features.
Especially when it's gas, because it's so easy.
Yeah. Like,
Right?
You're
I mean,
just sticking it in there,
Yeah.
you know? It's easy.
Do you mind if I ask you something a little controversial?
I mean, go ahead.
You brought it up, is why.
Okay.
So I was listening to Eric G's show the other day, and he did a whole episode on how a lot of people are still calling it the master bedroom rather than whatever else
Primary.
they're trying to change it to.
It's the primary.
Yeah. Have you guys had anybody like make a fuss about that, or be like, "Hey, we're not going to call it that"?
No, and you know what? I've never even thought about it in that light. But
Oh,
yeah,
really?
no.
Well, it's actually a big deal that people are now calling it the primary master. Instead of the master bedroom, it's the primary bedroom. Instead of the master bathroom, it's a primary
Wow.
bathroom because master implies superiority.
I'm the parent of my kids, so
yeah,
that's my
that's
master
one way to
bedroom.
You would hope so.
I'm superior in this house,
That's
so
right.
yeah.
Well, and like one of the weird things that he said that I thought was kind of weird is there's some people calling it primary, and then there's some people who are calling it the owner's bedroom. And I'm like, well, that seems just as bad as calling it the master. I mean, like if you're gonna say that it's bad, I mean, like that nomenclature seems just as bad.
I'm still confused at
I
what the
can't believe
difference
that's
between-
even I guess yes,
Yes,
I
you
can.
can.
I've just
You
never.
can-
You can believe I just never like thought that far past it.
That's a big deal.
I'm like, okay, I'm labeling them B1, B2, B3
That's
from now on.
Right. But I'm
This
still-
is a number and numerical.
If we're talking about what the word implies, primary implies the same thing in many ways.
Sure.
Like
Yeah.
I'm the primo, I'm the number one, I'm the man, even if you're the woman, whatever it is, like you're the one, right? Like I don't know. To me it's all semantics.
Well, and I'm like, I that's if you're, turning your bedroom into a person. Like that's the bedroom is a bedroom. Like it is the primary bedroom.
Yeah.
It's not the primary person.
Which one do you want? I want the big one.
It doesn't. It's not the master's. I mean, it's the master suite, the master bedroom. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
This is too much. Yeah, no, I don't want any more controversial. Take it back.
I don't want to have to defend this.
Absolutely not. For everyone else on Southern Lux, we'll be labeling everything B1, B2, B3 from now on. Not a problem.
You're welcome. You're welcome, world. We have changed Southern Lux's whole system.
Viewpoint. Yep.
Guys, we have to edit all the brochures.
That's funny.
Sorry, Southern Lux.
No problem. I'm here for it.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Well, and by the way, I was not asking for a defense of it.
Yeah, sure.
No, I know.
Just an actual question.
It's come up. And
Yeah.
I'm just curious if customers have been like, "Hey, we ain't talking like that."
Well, we do live in Montgomery County, so we have a little bit of.
But I do have a diversified clientele.
Oh, sure.
You know what I mean? So no, it's never been an actual issue. So
Cool.
yeah.
Good.
Good. Thank you.
Let's keep it that way.
Yeah, but should it ever become one?
Yeah. I'll call it whatever you want.
Yeah.
You're gonna say, "I heard that on the homeowner show." That's a
One time.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Well, anything else you need to bring us up to date on?
Oh gosh. Well, it's the beginning of the year,
Yep.
so for us that means something like so. We have children, and our project managers have kids. So most of them are out of school for the holidays, right?
Yeah.
Most people are out of the holidays. We actually close. We close Southern Lux down for 2 weeks, basically from Christmas
Awesome.
to close the office down, dedicate it to family time, allow everybody to do the travel that they wanted to do. Our customers know that. We set that, expectation with them. Our project managers sometimes do choose to just kind of keep some balls rolling that they'll, check on, and, if they're in a phase that they don't feel comfortable stopping right then.
Well, a lot of contractors are still going to be working during that time.
Yeah, a lot of them will, but as far as just, coming in and bringing new clients in, or, the meetings, or, getting with clients, that are in active phases, unless there was an emergency or something, which there's not. But, we take that time off. So really last week was kind of our first week back into the new year.
Okay.
And so we've just been, getting everything caught up for our new projects, getting all that stuff lined out, and about to close some stuff out. So it's good, exciting. Yeah.
Are you guys seeing things change as far as like getting materials in? No?
No.
Really?
Everything's been pretty easy breezy.
Yeah?
Building's been easy lately, so
That's
not
good.
having any problems.
I guess materials have been coming in faster than they have over the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm. We actually have no problems. Like, I haven't ran into an issue in several months of anything
That's fantastic.
taking too long. Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. They're also doing a really good job of shipping. This is funny. So I had to special order a piece of tile for a client from a vendor I've never worked with before, but we saw this, we loved it, we had to have it, get it in. I swear to you, they spray foamed this 3x12 tile on both sides and sent it to me in a box this big, this tile. And we're in there like, what? Why is there closed cell foam on this tile? What is this? We were in there like before the client got through this morning, like trying to break the box apart, and two of us could not do it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we're in there with a box cutter. I'm like, we all got time on your hands now, so that's how good shipping's going.
Wow.
How secure can we make this thing?
It was incredible. I was also very impressed. I was like, okay, good to know, because this is a brick-like product. It's going to come in when I order it in bulk just fine. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just worried how it's going to come in.
Right.
Are they going to put it on a pallet and then just like
each individual
spray
piece is going to be
all the way around, and then we have to like chisel into it? Because that's what it was like today.
You had to like scrape stuff off of it in order to.
I'm going to put a video on Facebook. I'm not kidding. I took a video because I was like, this is absolutely
I will
insane.
share that because I want to see this.
I will. Yeah, I'll put it on there.
So were you actually able to see it?
We couldn't find it. This was like, we're like, we don't want to hit it too hard. We've got a box cutter. We've got some scissors. We've got the typical office tools happening.
Yeah.
And she's like, are you sure you ordered? I'm checking the box to make sure like it's from the right person.
Right.
Like I wasn't sure if it was in there. It was. I was like, there it is, way down in the middle
Not
of
to
it.
mention the fact that closed cell foam is expensive,
Yeah.
y'all.
Yeah, I mean.
Like-
yeah, it probably wasn't exactly that, but that's what it was basically.
It looked like it.
Yeah,
Right,
might
yeah.
as well have been. I was like, this is insane. So
That's nuts.
yeah, it's always something.
They're like,
I was like, I just want to get my tile and put it on the table so my customer can be happy.
I mean, like, is it really expensive tile or like?
No,
No.
It's
That's
just
crazy.
really great packing.
Wow.
I was impressed. So.
Some overachiever in the mailroom.
And they're like, this thing says gap sealer on it. I'll seal that gap right up. Here, hold this tile in between the two sides of the box. I'm going to gap that thing.
I, honest to God, don't know how they did it. It's like they laid it down and coated it on one side, flipped it, and then coated the other side. Like it, I honestly don't. I've never seen anything like it in my life. So I'm still flabbergasted from it, and that was at 10 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah.
We definitely need to see the video on this.
Yep. I'll
Yeah.
send it
Yeah,
to you.
we need the replay.
Yeah,
Yes.
no big deal. No, but that's pretty much it. We're just rocking and rolling, and
Awesome.
moving in the year like everybody else. So
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you guys for sponsoring this event. I mean, you guys are part of the reason we even get to come and do these kinds of things. So
cool. Glad to be here. So we use this opportunity as a, it's Contractors Network. So this isn't necessarily like a client lead prospect heavy event for us, but we are constantly working to find new, contractors to work with that, can fall within our parameters, our level of expectation, and insurance and all, all the fun things that people that can that do good work. So this is kind of why we're here, is to make those contacts with people. And we met a couple of people at the last event, so we're hoping this one too that we run into a couple of more crews to kind of add to our team, because we're just consistently just
Well, as you grow, you need a bigger roster.
Absolutely, every time. And we've got so many projects in play, you've got to be able to move them, and you've got to be able to guarantee that each one of them can handle the same level of quality every single time. So so we're glad to be here.
Awesome. Well, and so if anyone's listening that wants to put a fireplace in the bathroom in their new beautiful barn dominium that you would build, how would they get a hold of you?
You can reach us at southernluxhomeinnovations.com. We are also on Facebook, but that will direct you to the website. Or you can call us at 936-205-1617.
Awesome. And we'll link everything up in the show notes as per usual.
Yep.
Awesome,
We
guys.
always love having you guys on.
Absolutely.
You guys do such good
I love
work.
coming and saying hey and seeing what's up, guys.
Yep. That's awesome.
All right.
Cool. Well, thank you so much if you don't mind, tell them to send us the next victim. And
whoever that is.
Yeah,
That's
whoever
right.
that is. We don't know who it is.
Okay.
It's more fun for us if it's a surprise.
Oh, it's just a surprise walk up.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right, guys. See you later.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, so based off what I've told you so far, we're gonna.
Yes.
Oh, we're real quick. Thank you again to our sponsor tonight.
That's right.
Lone Star Appliance Repair.
That's right.
Reach them at 936-296-3355, and you can reach them at lonestarappliance.us. You can talk to Sarah over there, who's a fantastic owner. Real quick, guys, I mean, I did have to call her this past week because we had a gas leak in our dryer, and she was very responsive, got back to us as quick as she could, told us the earliest date that she could get out, and even walked us through some things that we could try to fix it ourselves. And so, like, she's not just in the business of making money, but they're in the business of actually getting people taken care of. And so, if you want to be taken care of right, give them a call. Again,
Well, you're going to save money,
you're going to save money,
right? I mean, like between
possibly your life. In my instance,
So, very true. And
Yeah.
I know you're about to give the phone number. It's up here. We'll say it anyway. But the thing is, like, when you go and repair something, you're keeping it out of the landfill. That's one thing.
Yeah.
But also, like, it's probably going to cost you, hundreds of dollars rather than replacing it, which is probably going to be, 6 times that amount. It's
Right.
like, you're saving money and you're, not putting something else in the landfill. It's really, really good. Their number is 936-296-3355, or you can find them at lonestarappliance.us.
yeah, awesome, great sponsor. Thank you guys for sponsoring the show tonight. So yeah, man. So based off of the information I've given you so far, what do you think?
Well, I mean,
So like people attacked them and also supported them. I'm talking Southern Star.
so what? Here's one of the things that I saw, and this is why I knew that there was a problem. Southern Star blew up.
Yeah.
Like that, like the next day, or maybe it was the weekend after that happened. I don't remember what the days were, but like the next thing that happened was like they were overrun. They had to shut down early just because of they were running out of stuff.
Right.
Because people were supporting them. Now, there were also going to be plenty of people that were on the other side of that,
Yeah.
right? That, blasting them, whatever.
I mean, according to them, they were receiving numerous threats.
I don't doubt that. But again, I mean, it's like one of those deals, and I don't really know where the fine line is with all of this.
Yeah.
And here we are, we're putting on a podcast, and anybody in the world can listen to this if they want to. But the reality of it is, like, we live in a state where if you want to not do something,
Yeah.
you don't have to.
Sure.
If you don't want to provide service to somebody, you don't have to.
Right.
Like, I mean, there's no repercussions if you just say, you know what, I don't like you wearing a hat, Craig.
Sure.
Get out of my business.
Yeah.
You can do that.
Yeah.
And now, are people going to blast you for that? Absolutely.
Well, they'll blast you for it. I think. Well, and I've listened to some interviews with this guy, the CEO.
Okay.
Right. And so his big statement has been, is like, listen, we're an apolitical organization, so we don't want political things happening here. I'm just going to go ahead and say that's complete BS.
Okay.
It just is.
Yeah.
I mean, like every organization is going to be political, whether they want to or not.
Right.
Just by having people use your product.
Right.
I mean, like I would imagine there has been a political candidate that has had a sip of Southern Star beer and enjoyed it, and probably didn't agree with the politics.
Absolutely.
And they let him do it. Why?
Yeah.
Because he bought it.
Sure.
And they've had other political events there.
Yeah.
And so that's where people were like, well, hang on. And so that's when people started getting suspicious of be like, well, what's actually going on here? Like, because we know that you do other events that are like political in nature. So like, why is this one the problem? But like, you've been okay with all the rest of them. And so they're saying like, and to Southern Star's credit, like Kyle Rittenhouse, whether or not you think he's innocent, guilty, whatever or not, I mean, he is a controversial figure.
He is.
So I mean, like you can completely support him, but also recognize he's a controversial person.
Yeah. He is.
So it's just a crazy situation going on there. And so who knows what's actually. So what I do know. If you want to put those headphones on, that way we'll be all able to hear each. We got a guest sitting down. We're going to introduce her in just a second.
Yep.
They moved the event just down the street.
Oh, really? I didn't even realize
Which
that.
I actually think could be more problematic going. I mean, like I think it's actually happening this weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be ugly.
So it could be. It's.
I mean, you've made it. You've made it a thing.
You've made it a thing.
And now that it's a thing, it's going to be a thing.
It's going to continue to be a thing.
That's right.
Yeah. So anyway, we got a new
right.
guest. We
That's
actually
right.
haven't met before.
Hi.
Hi,
Hi.
I'm Craig. This is Kevin.
Hi, welcome. Go
You
ahead
are?
and pull that microphone right up to your mouth.
Yeah, just make sure you
There
can hear
you go.
All right, is this better?
That's
Perfect.
perfect.
Okay, I'm Amy Lampman. I'm with the Lampman Home Team
Okay.
with EXP Realty.
EXP. Okay, very cool. So
right.
are you a realtor or
I'm a realtor, team leader,
team leader? Okay.
trainer.
Trainer.
So what's the difference between a realtor team leader and a broker?
A broker has to have a certain license.
Okay, so you have no license.
I have a license to be a realtor. I have a license to drive. No. I have a license. I'm a licensed realtor
Okay.
who started a real estate team because I had a lot of experience. And I work for an amazing broker, and that way I don't have to have the responsibility of owning the brokerage.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So they're working under your brokerage, but you're kind of leading a team.
Yes.
Okay. Amazing. I don't think I've ever heard of that type of scenario. Is this common?
Well, it's kind of groundbreaking, and
Okay.
it's something that EXP launched back in 2009 after
Okay.
the real estate crash.
Okay.
Cloud-based business, baby.
Okay. Well, I just like I said, I that's not something that I've really ever considered or heard about. So that this is new to me. And we talked to a lot of realtors. We talked to a lot of
Yeah,
home,
for sure.
home construction types of people and those types of things. And so I don't know. It's interesting. I've never heard of it.
Yeah. Well, and does and I may be way off base here, but does EXP they do more than just like real estate, right? I mean, like.
So EXP is actually it's a publicly traded company, and it's a holding company.
Okay.
So it's a worldwide company. So when you join our brokerage, it's kind of incredible. But we have technology companies, we have title companies. There's numerous companies. We own one called Verbella, and just by being a partner with the company, you are part owner in all those sub companies. So it's
that's cool.
it's almost like an umbrella.
Okay.
Okay.
But they do other real estate things too, like they do like lending and different things like
Yes.
that. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, we have Success Lending.
Yeah.
And that's one of our businesses that we own. And we are worldwide. And the neat thing about that is if you came to me and you said, Amy, you're licensed in Texas. I have a condo in Florida. Can you help me? I can find a business partner in 2 minutes that has accolades, top realtor in that direct market area. And then we can work together and I could actually negotiate on your behalf, but using their license.
Oh wow, that's super unique.
We need to talk.
Yeah, no doubt, because Craig has some ideas.
Well, and we're also very investor friendly.
Okay.
Which in this market, I mean, I know that you've heard it's shifting, it's changing, interest rates are up, now they're down, you know, what's happening. And the neat thing about it is, even in a market that's shifting, you know, if you know the right people, if you know people that have been smart with their money, they want to invest in
For sure.
homes. Absolutely. So right now when people are like, oh, market's so slow, I'm like, market's busy. Like, I'm so busy. I just, you know, talk to different types of people.
Sure. Yeah, I think right now the big thing that's changed, and you correct me if I'm wrong, it's not that the market's not busy, it's just that properties are sitting on the market for a reasonable amount of time. Whereas before, like they'd last like 2 days, and people just got used to that, and now it's like if it sits there for a week, it's like, what's going on?
Well, it's the good old adage of supply and demand.
Yeah.
And so when there was, you know, that fear after COVID, like what's happening, I want a bigger house, everybody had all of these demands and desires.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden there was a shortage, right?
Yeah.
So
Because we couldn't build.
yes, right, exactly. There's supply chain management issues.
Yeah.
So we weren't getting things in. There was a shortage of toilet paper along with all the building supplies and paint. Forget about it.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, it was.
Yeah, that was so nuts, man. Like seriously, like if you wanted to find oil-based paint, it was not available. You could not buy it.
Oh, try to find Clorox wipes.
Oh, right now?
Right now?
No, not now, but,
but then,
back
yeah,
then.
yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Oh, one tub of them was $47.
What in the world?
It's like
what in
buying
the
eggs
world?
right now.
Oh, eggs right now $7. I'm very offended by that.
Right. Like your mom is sitting on a gold mine.
I know. She's sitting pretty. She'll probably be here tonight.
Like I'm gonna
I need to talk to
I'm
her.
literally gonna buy a chicken. Just
Yeah.
There's a lot of people going rogue with the HOA. They're like, nuts to this. I'm going to get a chicken. And
Yeah.
you're
Right.
not going to stop me.
Right.
Like the fees from my HOA will be less than the carton of eggs. So fine.
It's true.
right. It's worth it. They sacrifice.
Believe it or not, did you know that in my neighborhood I can't have chickens?
I don't doubt it. A
I live
lot
in
of neighborhoods have banned them.
I live in an acreage neighborhood.
I know.
That's
Which makes-
highly offensive.
I know. Like, look, I live on acres. Like,
Dude,
why can't you? Are you kidding me?
They're banned at my place.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
See,
No,
but-
I could do it. And no one would know.
Well, that's the thing. Is like as long as you don't have a rooster, you're probably going to be okay. Like that's the thing. Is like someone's going to have to report you probably.
yeah.
But
And no one cares at my place.
Well, and if you have land,
Yeah.
that's in high demand.
It
we
is.
have so many people looking for land.
Cha-ching, cha-ching,
So, and we
cha-ching.
we don't only sell residential, but we look for ranches, for land,
Yeah.
for commercial.
Yeah.
So my agents cover all aspects of real estate.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
So
I love
are
that.
you, I mean, with prices still being, not astronomically, but they're still high and rates are high, do you see people opting for different options on their home, maybe something smaller, or is people still like, look, I want a bigger house, or, most people looking to move up?
So right now what we're seeing is that prices were overinflated because of the frenzy from the past year.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
So we had to reset seller expectations and say, look, those were overinflated prices. It was like a false appreciation.
Yeah.
So people that thought, oh, my home appreciated $100,000 in a matter of 6 months, no. That's if you got lucky and sold during that little moment in time.
Yeah.
That little unicorn glitch in the universe.
Hey,
But
look,
other than
let me
that-
tell you, I sold my house at the end of March of 22, and I bought a house at the beginning of end of April of 22, and I couldn't have struck gold better because my house sold for probably $75,000 more than it should have sold for, and I only paid on a much like a triple the price piece of property. I only paid like 10% over at the time. So I made about 50% on my house
Nice.
of what I should have made, and I only paid 10%
Yeah.
over of what I purchased. Like I like this vortex happened right at the perfect moment. I got lucky. I got lucky.
I'll tell you this.
And the interest rate. Sorry, I cut you off.
No, you're good.
The interest rate was 4.5% at the time.
Nice.
So I really did hit a vortex.
Well, in 2020, when everybody was, at home staring at the computer because we weren't allowed to go out, my husband and I were like, we're bored. Let's find a lake house. So we
nice.
went shopping for a lake house and closed November of 2020. It had ugly pictures. No one could see it because of COVID. But I'm a licensed realtor in Texas, so I showed it to myself. And
There you go.
let's just say that it's now doubled its value
Oh, wow.
in literally 2 years.
Good for you.
So it's wild.
Good for you. And you got a lake house.
Yeah, that's right.
And my interest rate on that one, 2.75.
Let's see.
Oh,
That's
there it
what's
is.
nuts.
Yeah.
That is nuts.
You can't sell
No.
it now. I mean, like, it's
No, it's not worth it to sell
It's
it.
almost like they're paying you to have it
Exactly.
compared to
and-
what you're getting right now.
Well, and then I turned it into a write-off. I talked to my CPA, and I was like, how do I make this not just a unicorn, but a unicorn Pegasus?
yeah.
Perfect.
I need wings.
Oh, yeah.
So you have like VRBO on that deal?
No, we're not allowed to STR it or
Okay.
VRBO it. No, it's all about being creative. Since I have
Okay.
a real estate team, right? It's a business.
So you're giving them perks.
So I actually bring my team there, and we do team leadership and trainings. So I rent it
To yourself.
to myself.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yep. No,
And my
that's-
CPA is like, you run a business, a
Yeah.
legitimate business.
Yeah.
And I actually have 150 agents that work in my revenue group, right? So I can bring any of them in, and I just charge myself a pretty penny. It's
Perfect.
worth it.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's a lake house with a view of Lake Travis.
There you go. Can't beat that.
It's all about being creative in real estate.
Yeah.
So if you want a creative team that will look and find you deals and just show you how to find those unicorns,
Yeah.
then that's when you call us.
Okay.
Awesome.
I
So
love it.
so the reason we probably should talk is I've been hunting in Arkansas for like a couple years now, just waiting for the right deal to come along. So I know where I want to be. Like I know what I want. I'm just waiting for the right one to come along, and like I'm just gonna have to be creative in how I purchase it. So yeah, and like I've worked with an agent there. She's kind of fallen off the map. I don't know if she was one of these Johnny-come-lately real estate agents that was in it for the COVID and now she's out.
Let's just say all realtors are not created equal.
That is for certain. So like but like buying out of state property can be tricky.
Absolutely.
Like when you don't know anybody there, really. I mean, you can't have your feet on the ground all the time. I would imagine, like even something like on Lake Travis, like where it's not as convenient to be there when you live here, to get there and actually put eyeballs on it. So you got to get creative that way too, unless you're the agent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Perks.
Yeah. So I mean, even like just out of town property can be tricky.
So what are you going to do with the Arkansas property?
My
Nothing.
Yeah, really. I mean, that's pretty much it. No, so my big goal, and I tell people this all the time, and they think I'm weird, but that's fine. I want to own a waterfall, and there are tons of them in Arkansas. And the land, like when I started shopping there, this is what irritates me, is when I started shopping there, it was $2,000 an acre, and I think it's somewhere between like $6,000 and $8,000 an acre now, which is still way cheaper than it is here. And so we want a big recreation piece of property where we can go hunting, fishing, hiking, take people for recreation.
How many acres are you looking for?
I would like to have about 100. But like 40 to 60 would be fine. I can do everything I want to do on 40 to 60 acres. There's certain like regulations and stuff that you have to abide by in Arkansas, and there's certain perks I want with land ownership there. So like a big one is when you own a certain amount of land there, you automatically get an elk tag every year, which is super hard to get in pretty much every state. But if you own a certain amount of land, you get an automatic elk tag. Not that there's elk throughout Arkansas, but you still get it. And then you want enough space to ride horses and
where other people can't enjoy your
and really
house.
my only stipulation is I want a waterfall. It doesn't even have to be a big one. I just want a waterfall.
I love that.
So I've been hunting for 2 years there. So we go every year. And
dude, remember the cave? Dude, we found a cave. He found a cave, and he didn't realize. He showed me. He's like, man, I found a cave, and I'm like, really? You gotta be kidding me? Like, okay, a cave, a bear cave, like a little bitty cave. He's like, no, dude, like this is a cave,
like a legit cave.
Yeah, and so he.
Well, I didn't realize how big it was.
Well, so he showed it to me. I'm looking at the pictures. I'm like, dude, when you said a cave, I didn't know that you meant like you could park a helicopter in this thing. And he was like,
it was
massive.
massive.
He goes, what are you talking about? And I was like, come look at this. And I showed him the picture, and I'm like, look right there. That's a person.
Yeah.
And he goes, what? And I'm like, that's a person
walking on the bottom of the cave.
That's the top of the cave.
So it's like it was this huge perspective picture. Like, imagine it being like the picture's this big and the person's like that
tiny.
Tall, but that's the whole cave. And it's like, I was like, holy, like I thought it was just something somebody could walk through. It was like, no, like it was a limestone mine that someone had carved out. And so it was this huge space on the inside of a cave.
Nuts.
But like stuff like that's available there all the time. But there's not a lot of industry there.
Well, I think part of the problem is that since there's not a lot of industry, there's not a lot of like access points.
Right.
It's very rural. And
Yeah.
when I say rural, it's not like, oh, like Montgomery's rural. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like nobody's anywhere.
Right.
Like you may be 40 miles from the next person,
Which is exactly what I want.
Yeah. So
Dreams. I like it.
Yeah, absolutely. So anything else cool you're seeing in the real estate market right now?
I love that lenders are actually being creative with problem solving. The interest rates have dropped, just so you all know.
Okay.
They have dropped by about half.
I saw like 5.5% the other day.
Yes.
Yeah?
So we were below the sixes. Right before Christmas,
Hey,
we were
that's-
mid sixes, and now we're almost a whole point lower.
Okay.
So that's going in the right direction.
Yeah.
There's so many programs out there. It was really a big struggle for veterans to get loans when we had the frenzy. People just wouldn't allow veteran loans, and now we're available to help them because it's just now it's not such a intense frenzy market.
Right.
Were y'all doing the whole deal where like if you buy a home and we refinance it for you, we'll refinance for free?
So there are a lot of lenders doing that, yes, and that's 2-1 buy down. So basically, the interesting thing you want to know about a 2-1 buy down is that it has to be a seller contribution. So it has to actually be on a 1-to-4 contract. The seller has to contribute on line 12B. So that's really important if you want that buy down. So right now, if it's a 5.5 interest rate, you can actually get 3.5 interest for your first year.
Wow.
Okay.
And 3.5. Hey,
Sweet.
who wouldn't do
Good.
that?
No, I'd
That's
do that.
really good.
And that's why the phone's ringing again.
Yeah.
The phone, I mean, it took a little break, which was nice for holiday. But now, I mean, it is, my team alone has locked in like 4 deals this week.
Yeah.
Which for second week of January is impressive.
Hello.
And now we're seeing a lot of activity. So it's great news for everyone because it's not really a buyer's market or a seller's market. And when people say that in the news, what they don't understand is it's so geographic specific. So something that's happening in Cypress, Texas is not happening in Montgomery.
Oh,
Right.
interesting.
Right? If it's happening in the Woodlands, it may not be happening in Bel Air.
Wow.
So it's really, you have to look at the very specific neighborhood or zip code. And then
That's
have your,
nuts.
and if you're not a seasoned realtor, you wouldn't even understand that. So you need somebody with experience.
Right.
I happen to be an Icon agent with the company, which means top 2% of 85,000 agents.
Wow.
And so having knowledge and working with someone that actually has the knowledge to understand that. So you could say, I'm looking in Montgomery, and I could say, let's look at the neighborhood you want to look at, and then let's analyze if it's buyers or sellers.
That's crazy.
Well, and if people are interested, I think in 2 weeks we actually have Richard coming on the show, and the name of his company is escaping me, but he's doing those kinds of loans.
Yeah.
And the whole reason we're having him on is so he can explain how they work.
Yeah.
Because he's a lender. And he
Yeah,
knows.
so it is really interesting because I would be interested to hear what your take on this is. We made some predictions. The Homeowner Show made some predictions at the beginning of the year, and one of the predictions that I made was that kind of bold prediction was that the market that happened in 2021 that was ridiculous, where people are paying hundreds of thousands of dollars over. There's 50 offers in the first 24 hours, maybe even more. I predict that that's actually going to get worse. Like that was a good time. I predict that that's going to come back and that we're going to have this frenzy again, but it's going to be worse. That's my prediction. He predicted the absolute opposite.
That's true.
Of that, and that it's actually some things are going to settle down in some pretty big ways. I'm curious, what do you think is going to happen by the end of 2023?
Well, I always tell clients we are not fortune tellers.
No, we're not.
But
I get it.
But on that note, just looking at the historically what's happened in the past and knowing how we had almost like a whip effect. So for me, the whip effect is you put something out there in the news, and then how does everyone react? Oh, we have a shortage of toilet paper. Everyone goes and buys toilet paper. That's a whip effect, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So the whip effect is the market is so down, what's going to happen? Well, the interesting thing is that lenders took 3 months to come up with a solution and to start marketing. It takes time to get knowledge into everyone's brain, right? You hear it one time, you don't believe it, unless it's like doom and gloom, right?
Yeah.
But I think that now that lenders are creating so many solutions and they're coming up with DPAs are back, HELOCs are coming back, we have VAs are available again, FHAs are better than ever. And I think that because there's so many solutions, and this isn't a crisis like we had in 2008, I think the solutions are going to outweigh the problem. And so I think that it's going to be more of a balanced market. I don't think it's going to be such a frenzy like you're saying where it's going to be 100 offers, but I don't think it's going to be like desolate on the other end. I think it's going to be more balanced. And I think key is working with people with experience, because I have a house right now that is on the market. It's out for like 5 months, okay? That's not good.
Right.
But I will say, we actually had buyers. We had buyers at full price. Buyers fell out because buyer's remorse hit really big during the frenzy.
Yeah.
So we would go through multiple contracts. Well, you wouldn't believe this, but I got 2 offers on it in the last 48 hours.
Wow.
One being full price, and it's been on the market 5 months. So
Wow.
it's interesting how the mindset's changing, and I
Yeah.
really think that it took 90 days for people to come up with a solution and go, okay.
And the reality of it is that the lenders, the bank lenders, everybody wants to find a solution. I don't think that people out there going, how can we just, make this problem worse?
Well, you do know they canceled DPAs during the frenzy.
Yeah.
I actually don't know what those are.
Okay, a DPA is down payment assistance.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So people who, they're hardworking, but maybe they only have $10,000 in their bank account.
Yeah.
So a DPA would offer them maybe a 3% towards closing costs, and if they're doing an FHA loan, then the 3% goes towards their closing costs, and their money can actually go towards their down payment.
Okay.
And so it creates the dream come true for these young homeowners.
Yeah.
When you pull DPAs away and you say, we're not giving veteran loans, like you're cutting out veterans, you're cutting out first-time buyers.
Mm-hmm.
So now, with a more balanced market, the people that we love to serve, which are our veterans, our heroes, and our first-time buyers, they have options now.
That's awesome.
And the builders right now, oh my goodness, the builders have too much inventory.
Yeah.
So a year ago they had a shortage. So what did they do? They tripled down, right?
Sure.
Oh, we don't have enough houses. Let's go build 30.
Right.
Sure, yeah.
So now they're like, we have 10 houses. We'll drop them by $25,000 every week until we sell them.
Yeah. Well, we were just getting the wrap up sign from Christian here. No, I think you're probably right. I mean, I think the only difference there would be, like, we can't control what the Fed does, and like the whip effect, like kind of what you're talking about. Like if the Fed were to take interest rates to like 10%, I mean, it would tank. I mean, because people would just stop buying because they don't. No one wants to pay 10% interest, even though some people pay like 27% interest on their credit cards.
Well, but you know what? When
Yeah.
people stop buying, you know who always buys?
Oh, the people that have cash.
Investors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
investors.
And guess what? All of our big oil guys, they all got big checks.
Well, yeah,
that's-
they're waiting for something like that to happen. They
Yeah.
really are. I mean, because they'll swoop in and snag all the cheap stuff right off the market and not pay the interest.
So the feds will actually hurt the veterans
Oh,
and the
for
first-time
sure.
buyers.
Yeah, no,
Yes,
they will.
they will.
And like, don't hear me saying that I think the Fed's looking out for the little man at all. I mean, yeah. Anyway, if people need a good real estate agent, how do they find you?
I'm Amy Lampman with the Lampman Home Team. My number, this is my personal cell phone number.
Oh, look out.
Okay? 832-457-0511.
All right. You might be getting some unsolicited text messages.
That's okay.
But
I put it out everywhere. I'm in the universe. It's all good.
It's so funny to me. I'm like, no, don't give your cell phone out. People will find you. I'm like, seriously. People are going to find
They're
you if
gonna
they want to
find
find
We
you.
want people to find us.
Yeah,
It's okay.
absolutely. Yeah.
That's exactly
Thank
right.
you so much
It
for
was
sitting
so
down with us.
nice to
Yeah.
meet y'all both.
No, really, really good.
Well, we're going to come talk to you later. Both of us have things to talk to you about.
Okay. Let's do it. That's, you know what? And I'll give you koozies with the phone number.
Hey,
yes.
there we go.
All right.
We can
Koozies.
send unsolicited texts.
Yes, we can.
So-
And we will.
All my favorite properties in Arkansas.
All right. Very cool. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
All right.
All right, we're going to give one last shout out to our tonight's sponsor, Lone Star Appliances, or Lone Star Appliance Repair. Again, you can reach them at 936-296-3355, and you can also go to the website at lonestarappliance.us, and I know that you can find them on Facebook. They are very responsive there. Great company. Good friend Sarah runs that company. She would love to fix your stove, your refrigerator, washer, dryer, dishwasher. They do those. That one breaks all
Microwave?
the time.
Do people fix microwaves?
I don't think people fix microwaves.
I know you hate them.
I know. They should just throw them in the trash. Are you next? Are you next? Come on,
All right,
dude.
come
Yeah,
on
just
in.
need the headphones right there.
Worried. Never done this.
Never done this? You never had
All right.
You've talked with people before, though, right?
We'll find out.
We'll find out. That's right.
All right. Well, welcome. Go ahead and pull that microphone straight up to your mouth. That way people can hear you nice and
There
loud.
you go. All right, tell us who you are and what you do, man.
I'm Michael Moody with Home Builders Elite. We remodel houses, build additions. We started drying out homes. We've been expanding all over the Houston area. Worked hard to get a great name.
Yeah.
And worked hard to keep a good name.
For sure, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
How long you been at this?
So we're in our 5th year now.
Congratulations.
Yeah, we.
That's the magic year.
It is.
Yes, it is.
I mean, like in all seriousness, that's when most people drop out. It's like year 4, year 5.
Yep.
So
this is January. That's going to be a great year.
there you go.
That's right.
I don't think dropping out's an option.
Not at this point. That's
No.
the attitude right there. So I mean, you guys additions and remodels. I mean, like, is there anything that you guys specialize in, or is
So we specialize in kitchens and bathrooms.
Okay.
And we've been specializing in that for about 4 years now.
Okay.
And we do a lot of tile work. We do a lot of custom cabinets. Really, really good work.
awesome? I mean, you guys are actually building the cabinets.
Yes, sir. I've got a cabinet guy that works for me full time. So I hire full-time employees. We vet everybody. We keep the same guys. So we've got a lot of repeat customers. They have, established relationships with the guys.
Mm-hmm.
They end up knowing all of us. They get
Yeah.
the same guys back to their house every time we do work. And, I'm a little different than a lot of other contractors.
What do you feel like sets you apart and makes you different?
Well, the fact that we do have full-time workers
That is different, yeah.
instead of using subcontractors. And then from the beginning, when I started this, I knew it was all about my name.
That's so true.
And this day and age, you gotta get a good name and keep a good name. So my name's always been the most important thing.
Yeah.
We have a warranty with everything we do. I've always honored a warranty.
Is the warranty different for every project, or you guys kind of have a standard one?
We have a standard 1-year warranty on parts and labor, and
Okay.
and I mean everything's worked out good. We've made mistakes along the way and had to do warranty calls, and I've done every one of them. We make it a point to keep everybody happy.
Yeah. So do you guys have a plumber on staff then?
Yes, we've got licensed plumber, licensed electrical. So the
I just want everyone to know,
That's unusual.
It is. It's extremely unusual. I know a lot of contractors, and we've had a lot of them on the show.
Well, I'm
Rarely.
getting a house built right now, and
Yeah.
it's done by a GC, which is fine. It's fine, but you're having to sub everything out. And here's part of the problem with subbing everything out. For example, we had a guy come in and rough in our electrical stuff. Well, he got busy. I don't know what he did, but he kind of crapped out on us. So, it's time to do the rest of the electrical before the insulation can go in, and he nowhere to be found. So we had to go find another electrician, which is, again, we probably wound up better on the end, but we lost a week, and we didn't know this guy. We had to come in and bring him in. So with your system, you can tell the homeowner from the beginning, look, the process that we're going to give you is completely in-house. Right? Like we
do things completely different, and most of the time I get my money on the end.
Yeah.
And I explain that to my customers, so our goal is to go in to do you a good job and to get it completed in a timely manner. And like I say, we're a growing company, and we've been doing really good. We're expanding in new areas. We built a crew to work Woodlands, Magnolia, Tomball, that whole area.
Yeah.
So
wow. So do you do just remodeling, or do you build homes as well?
We do remodeling. We build additions. When it comes to a new home, I subcontract out the framing. But we recently started another company, drying out homes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so
like water remediation kind of stuff?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So I've gotten nationally certified, and I handle insurance companies a lot. I've been doing it for years. So I actually go in, we can dry the home out, I can handle the whole insurance process, and then we rebuild the whole home.
Oh, wow.
Wow,
So
I love that.
We're the one-stop shop, and that's been my goal for a few years now, and we're making it happen.
So was that something that you just came across and just wanted to try it out, or did you have experience in that, or was something your customers were asking you for?
I started dealing with the remodeling part of insurance jobs, and I started dealing with adjusters, and then I just saw an opportunity because they're having to get separate companies to do it.
Yeah.
And
it's easier for them if there's a one-stop shop. Yeah.
That became my dream, and then, that's the reason that I didn't get into building new construction homes.
Yeah.
I went a different route.
Well, and I think that's one of the things that is challenging for a lot of contractors. We're the contractor network here. We talk to a lot of contractors on our show, and it's one of those deals, especially for people, you're in year 5 here, okay? So when you're in year 3, there's a lot of people that are still ramping. They're still ramping up, and still they're going, oh, well, I'll do that, and I'll do that, and I'll do that, and I'll do that, and I'll do that. And at the end of the day, it's like, man, I'm a jack of all trades, I'm a master of none. And then they wind up having to try to pull themselves back and go, what do I actually really want to do? You know? And but to begin with, you're trying to make a dollar. You're trying to support your family. You're trying to pay the bills and all those sorts of things. But when you can truly find a lane and stick in that lane, the amazing thing is people will find you. And when they do, you're going to be able to say, look, this is what we do. We don't do that. We don't do that. We do this. And I think that there's a real opportunity in that. So I say kudos to you, for sure.
I appreciate it. We, you know, I had to learn over the years. And, I mean, what you were just saying, if you want to build cabinets, you hire a cabinet guy. You know, if you want to do plumbing, you get a plumber, whatever. And so that's where we're at. We've got the cabinet guys. I've got guys that do drywall. That's their specialty. You know, we do good work.
Yeah.
Awesome. Is there anything new that you're seeing people ask you to do in like kitchens and bathrooms that it's kind of unique?
We have been doing a lot more cabinets.
People just ripping out old ones and putting new ones in, or?
Yeah, we're doing more custom cabinets.
Okay.
So, you know, it's a little more expensive, but they're a lot nicer. It's a much better product.
And I tell you what, we bought a house back in May, and one of the things we did is the kitchen was really nice, but the cabinets were kind of a birch color. They were high gloss enamel finish, basically. And so we decided we're going to strip them down. We're going to take the cabinet doors off and put new doors and drawer fronts on.
A lot of people do that.
And we decided to put soft close on everything. My paint guy, who Aaron Bernazal, he's awesome. He's been on our show before.
They're here tonight.
Oh, I hope so. I need to go see him. He does great painting. And so we had him come in and do it. And he was like, I'll put the doors on. I'll do that kind of stuff, but I'm not going to do the drawer slides. And I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah, it's a headache, and I don't want to do it. And I wound up doing it myself. And let me tell you, that is a project, and it is no fun. And we figured it out, but it was a big problem. But man, we completely changed the look of our kitchen by changing the doors and drawer fronts, changing the hardware, and painting everything. So
that actually sells me a lot of kitchens because I do give the customers that option. You know, if the cabinets are good, that'll save you some money.
Absolutely.
So why not?
Absolutely.
It actually helps land jobs.
So let me ask you one more question. Are you finding, we got some background noise here. Sorry about that.
We're starting the program here.
Yeah, we may need to wrap this up really quickly. But are you finding that people are putting color into their cabinets instead of just like the standard white or anything? Are you finding that?
Yeah, we're putting color in the cabinets. You know, it's a preference.
Sure.
And, you know, some customers, we've painted cabinets, I would not want that color cabinet.
Yeah.
You know, and they love it.
Yeah.
It's basically a lot of neutral colors, your grays and everything, but we do run across the occasional one that wants something fancy.
Well, we did white cabinets. In our island, we did a green, like a sage green. Looks fantastic.
Yeah.
It really, really does.
Yeah. So what about in bathrooms? Well, actually, on the cabinet subject, I've been noticing a trend where people are opting to not have top cabinets and just like open shelves.
So yeah.
Are you seeing that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So we do that a lot also. We've got a Facebook website. You know, you can check us out.
Yeah.
But we have done that multiple times.
Awesome. It's my dad walking behind you right there.
There he is.
You can't tell.
He's the man with the plan right there. Trust me.
Yeah, we actually did that in our house. We did like the what do you call it? It's rough cut cedar. So
looks
it's
great.
So it's still like, you know, it's not finished. It's just like the way that the wood.
Live edge.
Live edge. That's the word.
Yeah.
Thank you. Kevin did that for me, actually. Not you, but
yeah. We have
other
a friend,
the good Kevin. But yeah. So I mean, like I we didn't do it because it was trendy. It was just fit our kitchen. But I was just curious if you've been seeing that quite a bit.
We have. I mean, you know, the scope of work changes job to job.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are running across that.
Yeah. The other thing I've been seeing, particularly with bathrooms, is this deal where like they'll put like a freestanding tub on the exterior wall of the shower. Mm-hmm. And so like that, there's like a freestanding wall, freestanding tub, and then behind it, it's like two sides to go walk into the shower. Have you seen these?
Yes.
Yeah, like it seems to be really popular right now.
Yeah, we've done them. We've put, we'll expand the shower. We can put the tub in the shower if there's enough
I've
room.
seen that too, yeah.
We've done that, and it looks amazing. So, I mean, you're kind of limited to your space. A lot of people don't
you need
have
quite a bit of room to do that, yeah.
big, but if you do have a restroom that large, it looks amazing.
Are they putting the tub in the shower? I mean, is it and this is just your opinion, but like, do you think it's aesthetics, or is it like easier to tie into like the same drain line?
Well, from what the customers have told me, they want to be able to sit in their tub, step out the tub, rinse off in the shower. It's all in the same
makes sense to
area,
me, yeah.
or vice versa. Normally, when we do that, we got to move the plumbing anyway.
Okay.
But it's another thing. I guess it's a preference.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people don't realize that like that's a giant hole in your slab.
Yeah.
That's a big hole, and it really, and the biggest hole is the toilet. You got a big hole there for the toilet, and so once you start moving stuff around in there, I mean, it can be done, but around here we got a lot of slabs, and so it's busting up a lot of concrete. Then you got to bring in new concrete and that kind of stuff. I mean, it's not inexpensive, and so one of the things
that's where it gets costly. When you have to start busting concrete and stuff, it's a lot of work.
Yeah. So you got people that are coming in. I'm sure you find this all the time. They're like, "Hey, we want to redo our master bathroom." And you're like, "Okay, great." You come over there. You're like, "What's your budget?" I'm like, "Oh, we got about $15,000." And it's like, "Whoa!" Like, do you want us to also put it back together?
Yeah.
Like, because we can kind of tear everything out for $15,000, but it's going to be another 30 to put everything back in. It's just the way it goes.
Let me tell you something. I was talking to a buddy the other day, and he was telling me that they just installed a new toilet in his house, and that toilet was $10,000.
What?
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I mean, like $15,000. Like, you're not doing nothing.
You got gold in it?
No, it was a high tech heated seat bidet thing. But anyway, we were getting the wrap up sign from Christian. I think he's got somebody else he needs to bring up here. If people need to get a hold of you, man, how do they find you?
So it's www.homebuilderselitellc.com. We're also on Facebook.
Okay.
We're in every other social media. So
you guys are on Instagram, I'd imagine. Got lots of pictures of your work and stuff up there.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
A lot of people looking for house stuff.
Chamber of Commerce.
Which
BBB,
chamber?
Clear Lake.
Clear Lake. Okay.
So I've been with them for years, but we're kind of easy to find.
Awesome.
You just got to look.
All right. Very cool. Well, thanks for being here.
Really good to meet you. Hopefully that wasn't too strenuous on you.
No, sir. No,
good.
Sir.
All right.
Y'all have a good one.
All right.
You too,
enjoy.
bud. So, well, dude. So while we're waiting for Christian to, unless we might be done. I don't know.
I don't know.
So one of the other big things that happened this week is, do you know who Steven Crowder is?
Yeah.
So he left the company that he was with. He had another company putting his stuff up, paying him to make his show and all this kind of stuff. So he left that group.
Okay.
And so he's been shopping around for a new group. Well, he blasted Nobody last few days ago, saying, "I'm tired of these so-called conservative companies taking advantage of everybody online," and revealed aspects of a proposed contract that a company had offered him as an agreement.
Okay.
And was talking about how these guys are being underhanded and shady and all this kind of stuff. Well, the company that offered him the deal came out today with a video and said, no, that was us.
Hang on.
And it was the Daily Wire.
Oh, wow.
And they were like, look, we're not going to sit around here and let him hint at that we're being unethical.
You don't.
And the dude sat down and read through the whole contract and explained the whole thing and why it's this way and this is how it is for all of our talent. And I was like, ooh, this could be fun.
Wow.
To watch.
Daily Wire, they don't back down from fights.
No.
In fact, they go in and find them.
No. Are you going to rap on there? You can. No. Okay. Christian, don't let him intimidate you.
Yeah, he will. He backed away. He was like, I don't know who this mammoth of a man is. Hey, welcome.
Hey, what's up, buddy? How are you?
Welcome.
Grab those right there. That way you'll be able to hear.
I do, definitely.
And so you'll want to, as long as you can hear yourself, everybody else can hear you.
Yes, I can.
All right,
great.
You want to put it right here.
There you
How's
go.
that? Perfect.
You can pull it to you, whatever works.
This is my
Whatever's
first time on
comfortable.
a podcast.
Oh, is it really?
Awesome. Well, welcome.
We're breaking a lot of people in tonight.
That's right.
Awesome.
So if you don't, we're the homeowner show, so we talk about all things houses. We review products and interview people, I assume, like yourself.
Absolutely.
Tell us your name and what you do, man.
My name is Delaware Ahmed. I personally run Permeant Waste Recycling Services.
Oh, cool. Let's check it out.
Yeah.
Hand that over.
Absolutely. Awesome. So, simply put, it's a construction and demolition and scrap metal recycling waste, or a construction and demolition waste management company.
Okay.
We also have our own scrapyard. So we do.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, we had the scrapyard long before.
He's showing it to everybody.
Like almost since '88.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah, I'm a second generation myself, and expanded into waste management about 7 years ago.
Okay.
In 2015, and so we provide roll-off waste service to the Houston and surrounding area.
Okay. So with the scrapyard, you guys aren't those guys that like paying like $2 bills or something.
No, those are friends. Those are good friends. C&D. But yeah, similar.
Very similar.
Similar, but I mean, within the scrap market is very fragmented. As in, there's so many different ways that you can make money in the scrap metal business.
Sure.
I mean, one way is the people bring it in and you $2 bills. Another way is you market yourself as a someone who buys strictly from commercial industrial accounts. Larger equipment that needs processing, that's not ready to be handled by, it needs equipment and forklifts and excavators. And so,
what do you do with them when they?
Yeah, exactly. So you get them. You got to arrange the specialized logistics, the permits.
Yeah.
The specialized trucking, haul them in, make sure all the routes are good, have ways to unload them, have the equipment necessary to process them, and then at the end of the day, it's scrap metal.
Okay, well, I got a question right off the bat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you take refrigerators?
There are regulations with refrigerators.
Exactly. So we were just talking about this.
We have no idea what they are.
So here's the thing. Like, we were just talking about the fact that, like, because one of our sponsor for today is Lone Star Appliance Repair. We were talking about that it's better to repair your refrigerator than to put it in a landfill, and part of that is because you got Freon in that thing.
Absolutely.
You got to figure out how to get rid of it, and we don't know how to get rid of it.
Well, there's a company, I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but I know it because I've dealt with them before. We had large chillers that go on top of, school light. Like, they're huge. I mean, they're like 20 feet, 30 feet long. And they had Freon in them. And so there's this company that comes, they won't pay, I mean, depending on the market, but generally it's just enough to just, cover a little bit of cost. And they'll come extract it, pay you a little bit for it. And that's the proper
that's awesome
way.
Because the thing is, like, you can't, like, there's a place by my house that will take the refrigerator, but they will not take it with Freon in it.
Yeah.
So what a lot of people do, they just
Puncture.
saw that line, they puncture it, and let it drain out, which is really bad for the environment, right? So it's like, what are we supposed to do, right? And now we know.
Yeah, so I mean, you can just Google. I mean, the individual name of the company is almost irrelevant. I mean, in the day and age of Google,
Sure, yeah.
You can just go online, type in refrigerant recovery, Freon recovery, Houston.
Yeah.
Okay.
And some company will come up. You cold call 2-3 of them. Some of them will say, "Yeah, well, we'll come out and we'll do it for you." And
But that's not something we can bring to you.
Well, you can. I mean, I'll make arrangements for it.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of other scrapyards, they can take it. They just don't want to go through the headache.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
We'll manage it. But I mean, we generally won't take individual loads. We like to take full truckloads or semi 18-meter loads. And I'm only talking about one company we got. We do a lot. We're a sponsor for 2 companies. The other one is right here. The second one.
Okay, HGS.
Yeah, HGS Roofing. And so my brother runs that one. We're all, under a family company.
Awesome.
A parent company. And I run the scrap metal waste management and the roofing and siding, which is a material supply company.
Yeah.
It's located off of Airline Drive, 10307 Airline.
So is it you guys provide the materials for roofs and siding?
Yes.
You don't actually install the roofs and siding?
No, we don't. No.
Okay.
We supply it. I think at all times we probably have about 300 truckloads of material on the ground.
Okay.
Wow.
At all times. So it's a pretty sizable quantity.
Are you guys pretty specific in those materials, or do you have like a variety of different materials?
We're specific in what we carry, as in it's residential architectural roofing.
Okay.
So residential roofing that you probably have at your house, that we all have.
Various colors, that
every
kind of
color.
thing. Yeah.
Every color. Now, residential roofing also goes into clay roofing and Spanish tile.
Okay,
and
so
metal.
you guys do that?
No, we don't do that.
You don't do that? Okay.
No, we
All
do the
shingles.
The shingles.
Okay.
The classic shingles.
No metal roofs?
No.
Okay, yeah,
No.
so do your thing, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah. So, there it goes right there. So we supply it, and then along with that, siding.
What kind of siding?
It's called lap siding.
Okay.
I'm not too familiar with it.
Yeah,
it goes
fine.
into details.
Is it wood or is it hardy plank?
It's hardy plank.
Okay.
He can
hardy plank is a
dispose of it
particular
for
brand.
you, but he's not.
I can dispose of it, and I can refer you to where you want to buy it. But yeah, no, hardy plank is a brand.
Okay.
But yes, the same material. The
cement board.
Yeah, the cement board, the fiber board, or whatever. It's
Yeah.
And so and Hardy is one of the brands that we carry, and all the major brands of roofing.
Okay.
GAF, Certainty, Landmark.
Okay.
Atlas, Tamco, Owens Corning. Malarkey, and so on.
So do you guys mainly supply like businesses in the Houston area, or are you guys
mostly contractors that are installing the roofs?
Mm-hmm.
So mostly roofing companies that do the physical installation themselves. The contractors don't come to us,
right?
And so this is a perfect event for that because
sure.
Contractors are the ones that 99% of the time buy from us.
Yeah,
and so it's even priced in a way where the business owner, the contractors are the ones that, structure their pricing in a way, whenever they sell it off to homeowners.
You can't control what they're charging for.
Yeah, on average, last I checked was this was 2017, I remember, but I think it was like $180, $200 a square. Maybe it's gone up a little bit, but ballpark around that. So we'll give it for like $50, $60. They have their markup of $50, $60 and the labor or whatever.
So what do you, I know that you're in the more the,
I'm in the waste management.
Yeah, in the waste management side of things. But do you guys carry different degrees of those residential shingles? Like I've heard now that there's even like a 40-year
lifetime.
Yeah,
which
there's a lifetime one. Okay.
Yeah, well, lifetime is essentially 40-year.
Okay.
Yeah, a 40-year. So there's 20-year, 30-year. And I'm going by my best memory from the most.
No, that's fine. Yeah,
I briefly worked.
Again, people can Google it and find out for yourself.
So 20 years. They're not architectural. They're not lapped. They're just plain flat shingles. 30-year are your standard ones, and lifetime are the ones, the 40-year ones that you're talking about.
Yeah,
and that's considered lifetime. Generally,
sure.
People's what's the life of a house?
No, most people don't own their home more than 40 years.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So. And so that's what that's considered. And so we stock a huge quantity and a huge variety of colors.
That's cool.
And so I don't know if he's made it in yet, but he's going to be joining in to the event.
Awesome. Your brother?
My brother. Yeah.
Okay.
Brother. But yeah, so I'm mostly responsible for the waste management.
Yeah. Well, I do have an interesting question for you on that end. I think on the show before I have talked about the thing that is buried in my pasture.
Oh yeah.
Have we talked about that before? So in my pasture. So when I bought the property, out in the pasture there was a metal square, just in the ground, and I was like, well, that's kind of weird. So I went out there with a shovel. I was like, I'll just get this thing up. Wouldn't budge. Went back with a pry bar, like a crowbar, right? I was like, wouldn't budge. Went back with like a 6-foot pry bar. Couldn't get it to move. And I was like, what is this thing? Like, it's driving me nuts. But I didn't have anything to dig it up with. So one weekend, my wife let me rent one of those Bobcat skid steers.
Right.
I was using it to move some dirt by the barn. And I got done with that project early, and I was like, you know what? I remember that square out there in the pasture. I'm going to dig that booger up. Well, like 4 hours later, I finally pry this thing out of the ground, and it's the tread off of a bulldozer.
Like the tracks.
Yeah. And it's got to be 2,000 or 3,000 pounds.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, like this could potentially be a good investment for me to put back in the ground because I could take it to a scrapyard.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is by the pound, but I got a lot of pounds.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You randomly, you'll find these things. And
is that something I could bring in?
Oh, without a doubt. As long as this doesn't have norm, which is radiation. But I don't think for any reason.
I wouldn't think it would.
Yeah, it wouldn't. The only
Norm, we don't like that guy. Norm,
he's kind of out of the norm.
Norm, dude, get that out of here. What's funny? Let me tell you what's funny about that story. Is his wife? She comes out and is like, "What in the world are you doing?" And he's like,
"No, I was
you
super
remember
proud."
The square?
I was like, "Look at this! Look at this!
Look what I found!" And she goes, "Well, put it back." And she made him put it. He buried it.
I buried it back.
Wait, your name is not Norm, is it?
No, it's not. No,
that's so good.
I thought I accidentally said a bad joke.
No, that's funny. No, but like the problem is like you probably could make some money off of that
Yeah.
thing. However, it's buried in the ground again because
Yeah.
she made it buried. So now here's what would have to happen. You'd have to go rent another Bobcat.
Listen, babe.
Fun
Just talk to a guy.
afternoon. So it's like I got to go spend some money to make money.
That's right.
So yeah, man. No, I'm loving this event. This is my first time here. I think we just I think I learned about. I started looking into the group of that sponsors this event last week, and then I over the weekend learned about the event. By Monday, Tuesday, became a sponsor, and so it was my first time. I didn't, I wanted to kind of feel it out before setting up,
Yeah.
But I think on the next event, does it happen on a monthly basis? Or?
Yeah, so it's the third Thursday of every month.
Okay.
Is what we've been told.
Okay.
So, and we appreciate you sponsoring. I mean, that you guys are the reason we get to come out and do these things.
No, it's mutually beneficial for everyone. I mean,
oh yeah,
these community events way better than those humongous NRG type ones.
Yeah.
The one at Reliant, or you don't even get around to talking to as many people as you would.
No.
But most of the people here look like they're small business owners.
They
like
are.
myself. And,
yeah.
And this is that little pocket, and we, our yards are just down the street.
Cool.
In Aldine. So yeah, I mean, I live on Luetta, so
nice, perfect.
Yeah,
So like for my business, my office is actually right there at Kirkendall 2920.
Kirkendall. Oh, Springs. All right.
Yeah.
Wow. Tell me about is this the podcast? Is that y'all's?
No. This is just is our side hustle.
Yeah, we just do this. We do this for fun.
Pretty much.
Side hustles are man. So I'm telling you, side hustles are a hack in life.
They can be.
They can't. Yeah.
But this one is more of a. I don't know. We've been doing this for a while.
Mm-hmm.
We put out. I don't know. We're about 230 episodes in. I've been doing it for 4.5, 5 years.
About
something
4
like that.
years. Yeah.
And so we've been doing it for a while. We don't make a lot of money doing this. In fact, we lose money doing this.
I mean, we do, but we don't.
Yeah. Inadvertently we do, indirectly.
I mean, really, for us, for the people, I know a lot of people watch the show and they're like, oh my gosh, Kevin and Craig. I mean, they're probably doing pretty good on the show. And like seriously, I've had people be like, oh my gosh, but here's the thing: is we actually don't make money off the show. But what's valuable to us is this.
Yeah, conversations.
We get to meet new people pretty much every week, and we get to talk to them about their business, and then we have a business relationship with those people, and that's been exponentially valuable to us.
I think the value of any sort of media marketing, mass media marketing, which is, and podcast in this day and age.
Yeah,
they're working.
Oh, yeah, way more than ever before.
Yeah.
And I think the credibility of actual media companies has tanked.
Oh, for sure.
In the past however many years. I mean,
they are scrambling to survive.
And the podcasters and the podcast companies or the podcast show hosts are the ones that people are going to for credible sources of news.
Yeah.
Because it's just people talking.
We have no agenda. There's nobody telling us, Craig, you shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
Kevin, you shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we're going to say what we think.
Yeah.
And I think there's something very valuable in that. And people know that we're going to get honest opinions, even if I disagree with your opinion.
Without a doubt.
I know that it's not biased.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
And you're allowed to give it.
Yeah.
That's right.
And we don't pay our guests. I mean, we don't, and they don't pay us to come on the show.
No.
Never have.
I am thoroughly impressed. I'm going to look into this show a lot more as soon as I...
Well, here's the deal. We've never had a waste management person on the show out of 230 episodes.
Wow.
And we record episodes and we come out every single week.
Honestly, that's the other fun part about this for us is we get to meet you.
Yeah.
We don't know anything about this, but we get to learn about it.
Yeah. I'll tell you a lot more. I mean, since we're here.
Come on.
I'll tell you a lot more about what we do. Because we have a background in scrap.
Yeah.
A lot of times you end up with good material. So what we started doing was we started buying from a lot of the yards that we have. My uncle owns a yard, and on 99 and 2, so many.
Okay.
We have pretty deep roots in the scrap business. But we started buying good surplus material, started supplying wholesale truckloads to other fabrication companies that don't necessarily need their material being MTR coded and material test reports. Some customers you do need that, but if you're building a dumpster,
well, real quick, what's the value in having that rating?
Meaning what?
You said MTR.
Well, MTR, material test report. So, for example, if you're a fabrication company and you're building for Exxon.
Uh-huh.
Exxon has a lot of liabilities. I don't want to say any names, but let's say you're building for a large cap oil and gas company.
Yeah.
Or you would need to have a test report, material test reports that releases the liability off of you.
I got you.
And that the material is not some second grade that didn't pass quality control in manufacturing.
Yeah.
And is is good for fabrication, so that the fabrication company can pass it on and say, hey, this is all certified material, and there's ASME and other engineering societies that require MTRs in order to certify whatever fabrication their oil and gas companies are doing.
Huh.
And so we're not in oil and gas. We're building dumpsters.
Yeah.
And so steel, for the most part, at the end of the day, the way I look at it is steel.
Yeah.
And if
Steel
you're building
is steel.
steel is steel. I mean, for people that are building like their own, that are building, there's so many different things you can do with steel fabrication.
Right.
And the majority of the things are made out of plates and steel and structural, and so like people, for example, building fencing. And so we supply that.
Are you guys are actually building these?
We supply the steel. We build the containers. We supply the service of the containers and do the waste management. We buy the scrap metal. So if you take out the effort and you have a demolition going on, and you take the effort out and you sort everything out, we'll buy that from you. We're not going to charge you for it, assuming, there's conditions that it has to be over 10,000 pounds. And, it has to cover the cost of us coming over there.
Yeah.
But majority of the time, it well over covers the cost.
Dude, it sounds like everything y'all are doing is very sustainable. I really like that. Like you're talking about you're not outsourcing this to build this, and you're not turning around and selling this over to. You're bringing stuff in. This is brilliant. I don't know if you heard what he's saying. He's taking your junk, bringing it to his place, repurposing it back into steel that can be built into a container that can go out and get more junk that will bring it back in. You see what I'm saying? It's
I never thought about it like that.
It is sustainable. No, it is a really, really interesting process.
Wow. Yeah, that is.
Do you guys work with A&W at all?
No, I just learned about Christian.
I was going to say, that'd be a good contact for you.
Oh, absolutely. I just met him. I met him through Christian. And Christian Scott introduced me to Christian.
That was a fun noise, wasn't it?
That was nice. And so he's an awesome guy. Actually, the container sizes that he has, we don't have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he has a lot of the 15 yards and the 20 yards. And we have some 20 yards, but we don't have too many of them. And so I would love to partner, with someone that we can just refer to smaller, when we don't have the containers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we probably need to wrap up just because but I wanted to ask you real quick. Is there, I know for a long time there was a big controversy around copper.
Yeah.
Obviously you guys probably take in copper.
I try not to.
You try not to?
I try not to take any.
That's why I was asking.
I actually try not to. We try to not take any material in. The only material that's coming into our yard, we have gone out and bought it. We've gone out and done the bid.
Yeah.
And we buy it from a company.
Yeah.
And nobody can just walk in and say, "Hey, I got this. Would you want to buy it?"
Yeah.
Those are considered peddler yards, and they make a lot of money.
Yeah.
But they come with their own set of
problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And ours comes with our set of problems, but we'd rather deal with these problems.
Yeah.
You got to pick your problems.
And what the problems I can handle, not the ones I know.
Absolutely.
Well, anyway, man. Well, if people want to get one of these containers, or they've got some scrap they want to sell you, or they need some roofing material or siding material, how do they get a hold of you guys?
Well, let me give you my our phone number, Instagram, website, email.
Okay.
Our name is Permeant Waste Recycling Services. You can Google us.
Okay.
You can find us on Instagram, Permeant Waste.
Okay.
You can contact us. You can
someone will respond if they send you a message.
Absolutely. Someone's there in any form.
Okay.
Email, phone, contact,
cool,
email. Stop by, visit us physically if you will.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah.
I'll give them to Kevin.
Yeah, perfect.
All right, awesome.
Dude, thank you so much for sitting down with us.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Enjoy your time here.
Absolutely. Thank you, man.
Really good to meet you, bud.
Likewise. Bye-bye.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think we're gonna wrap up today's episode. We got people up on the stage. But thank you. We'll cover some of these controversies that we brought up during the show later on, I suppose.
Thanks. So, thanks for listening to the episode. Thanks for downloading today, and we're going to be interested in finding more about the Contractor Network, and we're going to be here more. So,
third Thursday of every month. Could be fun.
Should be fun.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
So thank you all for joining us. If you haven't yet, hit the click the like, click the subscribe button.
Do it all.
What else we got?
I don't know. I think that's it. There it is. The bump music. We'll see you guys later.